All right, hi. We're live. Thanks for hanging out. I think we're live. If you can't hear us, something like that, shoot us a message in the chat. Thanks for people already talking. Oh, hi. Ashley got Ace of Base stuck in my head, so I want to apologize ahead of time if I suddenly break out into song. Talking about signs. Ashley keeps insisting it's light. She's totally wrong. So we saw the signs.
You were looking for light.
I know. But the song is I Saw the Sign. It opened up my mind, or something like that. I saw the sign, something like that. And then now I'm thinking, like, Don't Turn Around. I got that song stuck in my head now too. So I got a bunch of Ace. Those are the only two Ace of Base songs I know. So while everybody else is playing tonight, I'm gonna be googling Ace of Base songs because I'm going to explore. Are they Swedish? Is Ace of Base Swedish? I think they're Swedish.
Can't tell you.
All right. No. Anyway, I know what we're talking about. I probably shouldn't have gone live until I got that out of my system, but we're live anyway. Hi, we are Adventures in Lollygagging. We're continuing our Ailing Isle adventure tonight using Zweihander on the Big Kids channel. We were invited a little while back by the folks at Grim and Perilous, Daniel and Adam and Matt. I said, come play on our channel. And we said, yes. And now we're here. We are in our third ep. But before we start diving into what that's about, we're going to do some plug stuff. And then hopefully people start joining the channel. And we'll talk about some other little things, ways you get involved, that kind of thing. So before we do that, let's plug some stuff. Justin, starting with you tonight. Go ahead and plug some stuff. What do you and I do, and then what do you do? There we go.
So every Wednesday, me and Jeff, we try to do it every Wednesday, depending on schedules and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Who knows when it goes? We do a
It's
podcast
a
every
even
Wednesday.
us. Yeah.
Yeah. Lollygaggers podcast. We talk about games to movies to TV, all different types of nerdy stuff. But there's going to be a pivot for a little bit.
I'm pretty excited about this.
It all originated from us like scouring Amazon trying to find stuff to watch, and I was like, "Oh my god, we should totally watch this." And so we're gonna do a deep introspective call, and we're gonna call it the quickening.
Yeah.
Of the is it the Legend Highlander? The Journey Continues. Is that what it is?
I don't know. There's a subtitle to it.
But
everything has to have a subtitle.
You're burying the lead here. We're gonna do.
But we're gonna be doing a Highlander TV show.
We're not doing a TV
retrospective.
Show. It's gotcha. I guess
it's a retrospective. So
on our
trying
podcast.
To 2 episodes a week, and like really get in depth of
thanks for joining
the in-depth intricacies of what's his name, Adrian Paul. Yeah. Adrian Paul and his beautiful movie or TV show from the mid-90s.
92, so I think, is when it first came out. It's very exciting.
And also, I do stuff on Twitch all the time. So if you like watching Twitch and like watching video games, I do it all the time. Usually every day from at about 5, except today because I usually do our Zweihander thing. But I do stuff from – I've been doing a lot of Final Fantasy lately. I'd stop doing WoW because it's not super. It's really boring to watch when you're just dying the same boss.
It's a really old game. It's been around for a while. Everyone knows about it. It's just like a remake of a game from the 90s, but you know.
But that's twitch.tv/Jehoofa, JEHOOFAH.
Thank you, Chuck.
It's the same name that I write in on Twitch with. But if you ever want to watch an idiot play video games, you could definitely do that. I'm doing Valorant too. Boom. With Ashley's boyfriend, who's far better at every game than me. So you just watch me as a portal to watch him. Probably the best way to do that.
What it is to just watch Justin's sweaty man crush.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for making that quick and simple and easy to follow. So let's see. Ashley, what do we do on Fridays? What does Adventures Lolly do on Fridays, and where do we do it?
Fridays we do Mutant Year Zero Gen Lab Alpha on our own channel.
Yeah.
The Lollygaggers. It's at 10 p.m. CST. We're playing a resistance cell and we're trying to take down the Watchers.
Cool. And let's see. No, Long. What is our podcast about on Mondays?
We got our own Zweihander campaign going on Mondays. I think we're on episode 41 or 42, somewhere around there.
We're going to be on 41 next week, yeah.
We just had some crazy episodes happening, some crazy events. If you want to see what happens, you better check it out.
Yeah, very nice. And Melissa, you get the hard job, but it should be a lot easier. Okay, so like, if you've listened to our podcast, and the 24 of you or so that listen, one of the difficult things we have is summarizing what has happened before. And the cool thing about a podcast is it's not live. You can edit it, and so it sometimes makes you sound more intelligent and coherent than you really were in the moment. So we just really struggle. But what I did in the opening screen is I wrote a little summary of what has happened. So
I don't need to do it because everybody read it and we're good to go. Let's go. Let's start.
No. You should go ahead and you should tell us. What happened. What's going on? What are we doing? What's happening?
So in episode number 2 of the Ailing Isle campaign, we all spent some time kind of exploring the Isle and kind of figuring out where different places were. So my character spent some time out and about, had a fun little chat with a frat boy trying to get some information about where Rocco Harding might be.
You're threatening.
And you haven't really talked. You haven't really talked about who that is and why that is. So one of the things we did is we have everyone's got like little personal mission things like that where they can kind of complete those to kind of get some extra reward points. And so Melissa's has to do with the frat boy Ruckle Harding, Delta Chi or something. I don't know. I don't know Greek letters.
I think it was Hugo was the name of the
Sure
guy that I chatted with. So Big Sis and her cousin Lucas are here trying to find an escapee from their jail in Apple Garden. So that's why she is searching for Ruckle Harding. So she was out and about doing that. Everybody kind of had their own little story event that they were doing during the day. And then we gathered back in town. No, Justin was not the frat boy. Hugo was the frat boy. Justin spent some time at a church doing some masonry roofing.
The Lord's work, really.
Yeah. I made Justin come on a role-playing game and fix a roof. That's what I did.
That is what happened.
Yep.
That is.
Yep.
Then we, Ashley and Long's characters were kind of talking to some folks at the hospital, trying to get some further information about what's going on. And then, as seems to be the case, we had some middle of the night adventures.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's fine. Nothing to see. Nothing weird. Nothing to worry about.
Sure.
It's not like Daisy's missing or there's a blood trail.
Who's Daisy?
My BFF.
Your BFF. Yep, I hear you. Okay. And so as you all, I think it was Mordio who actually heard like a glass breaking, and that snapped him out of his slumber. And when Florence woke up, she saw, hey Jeremy, when Florence woke up, she noticed that Daisy wasn't in her bed, blood on the sheets. Y'all stepped down into the hallway, saw some blood, bust down a door. By the way, Big Sis is drunk and intoxicated, incapacitated, failing all skill checks. That's going to be important in a minute. And then they were investigating this blood trail, went upstairs. Mind you, none of them brought weapons with them. They're all just walking around in their pajamas. And they go they find a dead body. They follow this blood trail upstairs, still looking for Daisy, following this blood trail. And as Oscar, the Holy Roller, turns around a corner, his candlelight catches a glimpse of a figure bashing like really slow, like their head, like one at a time, boom, right into this door. And their arm is all mangled and weird. And then that figure turned and just started shambling in the direction of Holy Roller. Now, we're going to get started, but before we do, you probably see down below, I got a little kind of trailer thing going on about bits, how you can kind of get involved. If you feel like getting involved, you don't have to, but if you want to, it could be fun. If you're new to Zweihander uses fortune and misfortune points. So they're in the upper right-hand corner of the stream. These are little tokens that the players could use. Sometimes I can use if they're misfortune. That lets us sometimes reroll fails. Lets us use extra damage on attacks and a couple different things here and there. If you want to help them out, you give 100 points, 100 bits. Excuse me. You can get them a fortune point. If you want to help me kill them, which is probably the best thing to do, then you give 200 bits, and we'll flip one of those fortunes to misfortune. And if you want to do what I'm calling, and this isn't an official thing, this is just something we're doing, a divine coincidence, you can drop us 300 bits and let the players discover something that could help them in their current situation. So what does that mean? Think of like you're heading to work and you didn't realize that it was going to rain today, and you're like walking to work, and then you realize, oh crap, it's raining. I sure wish I would have brought an umbrella. But then you look in your little satchel and you realize, oh hey, look, I did in fact bring an umbrella. So it's just a way of like giving them something that they might need at that moment because they forgot it in their room, despite the fact that they were told multiple times that, hey, your stuff's over there in the corner. Hey, there's blood on the ground. Hey, there's a dead body. No one wants to pick up one. Okay, we good? Got any questions? We good to go?
I totally forgot that I was drunk and incapacitated.
Yeah, you're drunk and I did not forget. So
thanks for remembering.
Incapacitation means that you fail all skill checks. So you are going to be as useless as it comes. You are unable to even bust a door down. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to switch over to the combat map right away because we're starting with combat. This is great. Let's do this. Okay. So
I'm already stressed.
everybody able to see it? Okay. Looks good. Remember that you all came from back to the northeast. You should see a ping show up in a second. That's kind of where you came from. Remember that there's stairs going down and there's stairs going up to a second level, or to a third level, excuse me. Remember that behind Florence and Mordio, there are these metal doors that are chained. They have like an extra chain with a padlock on them. And Florence, I believe, was able to hear that there's like bubbling kind of going on, as if something's being boiled or whatever on the inside of it. Other than that, it's very, very dark. But there are these small lamps that have been set up, even though the oil in them is dwindling and they're giving off only a very faint bit of light. It's just a little bit though. And again, blood trail, Daisy missing. That's good. That's it. So we already rolled initiative, and so the first person up. Let me get some music going for us here.
Oh no.
What? It's battle music. It's to get us pumped, you know.
I know, it's the stressful music.
Is it?
Yes.
It's too loud. Let's turn it down a little bit. Okay, so Holy Roller. You've got this figure has shambled in your direction. There's two doors. There's one that's kind of here, and then there's this one on the side in this corner that he was banging on. And when you look at this figure, they're 5'8" or so, human, and they're in the same outfit that you are. Everyone's wearing those patient outfits, right? Those really generic green, long sleeve smocks at the top and long pants, and they're kind of stained. You can see blood dripping and other fluids, a little tear here and there. Their face, like half their face, has started to bleed a bit from the banging against the door itself, and you can see that there's blood spots on the door that it was smashing his head against. There's a far off look in their eyes, like they just. You can't even they can't recognize anything, and they're just coming at you. So Holy Roller, what would you like to do?
I'll start off by saying, stand back, my inebriated friends. I will take care of this. And I fling my robes off because I never take off my. It's always just under. It's like my underwear.
It's like a second skin, right?
Yeah. So, and I fling off my robe, and great majesty, it flings through the air, and you see me once again with the luchador mask on. I have once again become the Holy Roller. Yeah.
So you took the robes off, and then suddenly the luchador mask appears on
so
your face.
What happens is because I threw the robe in such a way.
Okay.
I covered their vision, and when that happened, I'm like,
okay.
I put it. Now I'm like, okay. I am the Holy Roller.
Okay.
I will deal with this.
Anybody else that would have been an AP, but you, it's Holy Roller. Like that's just it's just par for the course.
Yeah, with this bloody fiend. And so what I'll start off by channeling some power. I'll use my first AP to channel power.
Channeling power is something you do if you're a caster. You're not a caster, so you're not getting any benefit from that. If you're gonna attack, like if you're gonna attack them like barehanded, or if you're going to try to do a perilous stunt, you want take aim. That's what you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take aim is for physical attacks.
So I won't do that. I'll just start off with a subdue. So I'll go up to, what is this creature called? Do we have a name for it?
It's just a crazed patient, as far as you know.
I'll go up to this crazed patient, and I will perform the pump handle of penance. And what that is,
yeah, it would be, yeah.
I'll get behind them, go around. So what happens is they're standing in front of me, right? I'm trying to help you guys understand what's happening here. I go under the arm, over the head, and just crank it down like this. That's what a pump handle is. So pump handle of penance. So it's a subdue.
Okay, so a subdue is basically like attacking, but the damage that you're doing isn't going to be lethal. It's kind of what you're.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do I do that with?
So if you're just, you're just trying to attack at this point? Is that all you're looking to do?
Yeah.
Okay, so
with my pump handle of penance.
And so you have nothing on you but a candle, I believe, right? And nothing else.
Can I use my bare hands though?
Yeah, you can roll unarmed.
All right, so where's unarmed at? Is that in the?
You can just roll as. Where is it? I'm trying to find it on your character.
Simple melee.
That's fine.
All right, so simple melee.
Yeah.
And I don't have any type of. Do I have any type of difficulty to it or no?
You have no benefit for anything.
Okay, so simple melee.
You're all by yourself up in front.
And what I get here? I got a 28 out of 52, so it's successful.
Okay.
The pump handle of penance lands. So then what I want to do is I'm gonna do some dirty tricks on this guy. I think he might hurt other people.
Okay,
so
so
I do some dirty tricks.
okay, you're getting up ahead. You've used 1 AP. Okay, all right.
I got 1 AP. So dirty tricks. That's off of. I can't remember which one that is.
So dirty tricks is like throwing something in their eyes or trying to make it so that they're distracted.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember what it's
Guile.
off of though.
It's a guile.
Guile. Okay.
Yeah.
Guile.
Yeah.
Okay. So, guile. Any type of difficulty? This or just the same thing?
Still standard. You're 1v1 with them, so there's
Okay.
you're not outnumbering them or anything.
All right. So it lands. I will dig deep into the bottom of my trunks, right, and just pull out a clump of sand and throw it in his face. And this is my pocket litter. And I throw it in his face to blind him.
Oh no.
You
then I'll
had
just
your flare ready to go.
Yeah. No, this is why I've been doing this. This is the whole reason why I'm here.
So let's see if I understand this correctly. Not only do you have your gear on underneath your outfit, there's glitter inside as well.
No,
You
it's
go to
litter. He said it was cat litter.
Cat litter.
Yeah.
You go to sleep with
Yeah.
cat litter in your pocket.
No, it's in my trunks.
Okay.
I have to be ready to wrestle at any moment.
All right. You're lucky we're friends.
So-
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll just sit and wait for the next
Okay.
part. So yeah.
All right.
So I'll what is it called?
You
I
can-
guess.
You're
You're just
trying
gonna
to-
hold.
You're banking.
Yeah, I'll
your
hold. Yeah.
final
I'll
AP.
bank.
Okay.
I'll bank. So
You did a lot of
Pretty
things.
exciting.
You didn't quite finish everything, but that's fine. It was fun. So Gray's patience. These are basically underlings. We're going with the underlings rules for them, so like no reactions and things like that. So all of that goes through. So right now, you can see that this weird patient is freaking out because their eyes are now covered in some sort of litter, and they're sort of swinging in the air like wildly, trying to hit old Catman there. Okay, so I will record what. All right.
let's
Then
get it started off right, guys.
okay, then
Right
it'll be Florence's turn.
Okay.
Somebody who's read the rules. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna move. That's gonna be 1 AP.
Okay, go for it.
I don't want to stand in blood, so I'm gonna.
So
Yeah, I guess
you
I am.
see, in addition to like the doors behind you, just to refresh your memory, there was another door right where I'm pinging right there.
Oh.
It's closed. It's just a wooden door, simple wooden door, but it's closed.
Okay. Well, I don't like it when you point out doors to me. That's kind of frightening. So
I
I'm
can't
gonna
do anything that you would like. I could literally
I know.
say,
I'm paranoid at all times.
here's 100 reward points just for being you, and you're like, what do you?
what
are you gonna
what's
do
the
with
catch,
them?
Jeff? What's
yeah,
the
what do
catch?
you, yeah, okay.
So I move. So that's 1 AP. I am going to attempt a takedown.
Okay. Takedown, very nice.
So that's gonna be a coordination test.
Okay, that's fine.
At standard, or do I get routine because I have Justin?
I'll give you a routine because Justin's also there, or excuse me, because Oscar is already there. That's fine.
Holy roller.
If you wanted to, don't forget that you can charge first if you wanted, and then use athletics. But that would use up your whole turn's worth of AP.
Yeah.
So it's up to you.
Yeah. No, I'm just gonna move, and then I'm gonna just do a regular one. And I passed. I got a 32 out of 43.
Okay.
So foe must resist toughness, but they can't resist.
So you see them just again, underling rules, can't use reactions. Reactions, one of the reactions is resist. So you just see you walk up, they're too busy, and then you just come up and sweep the leg, and they fall down.
Cool.
And they get up later, and they win the tournament.
Oh no.
An illegal move.
And then they have 2 sequels. So shut up.
Can I do a chokehold now? Or no, I can't. That's 2 perilous stunts. Just kidding.
Yes,
I'm just
correct.
gonna attack.
Okay. So are you going to do the same thing that Justin did and do subdue, meaning you're trying not to do any damage or not to do lethal damage, or are you just going to say hell with it? You're doing whatever.
So intentionally dealing enough damage to render a foe slain. So can that potentially just like knock them out of
It
like?
potentially could, yeah.
Okay, I'll attempt to subdue. I'm not gonna go because they are a patient. So you wanted simple melee for that?
Okay, so it's simple melee because you don't have any weapons.
Yep.
Okay, so
Pass.
all right, roll your damage. This is what Justin forgot to do, but I did it. It's fine.
Okay. What do you want?
I'm new. I'm sorry.
I think since you're just doing simple melee, I think it's just BB. Pretty sure, because we do alternate whatever, but I think it's just BB for.
Okay,
for
so my BB is 4. So you want me to roll a D4?
Yeah, you can roll D6. D6 plus 4.
Okay. 8.
All right. So, okay. Got it. All right. You're done. You're good to go. You're happy. You all have thrown kitty litter in this person's face. It's gotten stuck and matted all the way to the blood on their face where they were smashing their head against the door. Then you tripped and knocked them down. Technically, since you knocked them down first, you should get a second D6 because they're laying on the ground. So you can roll a second D6. Go right ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. Totally forgot about that. My bad. Just roll another D6. That explodes. So go ahead and roll another D6. So we're up to 14 down.
Ooh.
Okay, so we're up to 16. You want to use some of that their fortune or misfortune just to blow one of the. Just take this person out right out of the. Just done, and then we end combat.
Do it.
They're not yet to the point where they would be grievously wounded.
Okay.
So.
All right, so I'm just gonna do another D6 then.
Mm-hmm. Just with subdue, if they get to the grievous, if they get to like the point where they would take a bunch of damage, where they would kill them, they're just basically grievously wounded and they're helpless.
Okay. So I will do that.
Murder the helpless man.
All
right, so we've got 4 plus 6 plus 6 plus 1, so that's 13, 17. That's 21 points of damage, which is in fact, considering Justin moved them down a step, that is enough to actually put them out.
Okay.
So instead, they're going to be made helpless for CB. So what's your CB?
My CB is 4.
Okay. Got it. Okay. So for a couple of turns, they are going to be helpless. And remember, helpless allows you to do some of those other techniques. So things like things that might actually more seriously knock them out, or just kill them. If you just want to just walk up and attack them when they're helpless, that's fine too.
Just long walks up with a knife.
Is this a door?
Yes, that is a door. That is the door that they were smashing their head against.
Are we still
we are still in combat.
Okay.
Yeah, your turn.
That's frightening.
Your turn is done. Mordio, in Big Sis, you hear coming from the door that I just pinged. That squid is frightening. Oh my god. Okay. what is that? So you hear coming from this door, suddenly a significant amount of banging and slamming as if there's something inside that is trying to get out. Then you see emerging from the darkness, this other figure starts shambling in the direction of Mordio and Big Sis, coming from out of the darkness at the end of the actual hallway there. And so this one, you can see Mordio is. I'm gonna roll a D6. 1 to 3, it'll attack Mordio, and then 4 to 6, it'll attack Big Sis. All right, so 1 to 3, it's going to attack Mordio. And so it comes shambling up, and you can see that it has some sort of like broken flask in its hand. And it's like the glass is kind of embedded in it. You can see it's dripping blood as well. And it's going to swing out at you with this improvised weapon, let's call it. All right. So outnumbered, drop it to, I'll move that up to challenging really quick. All right, that is a fail on the first roll. That's a shame because that would have been a ton of damage, and I could have made long reroll his character tonight. Okay, and then let's see who else. Florence and get that out of the way. Florence and Holy Roller, you hear something else.
Oh, no.
Yeah, if I can find where I put it. I'm like missing all of my stuff. I made the mistake of like turning the darkness down a little bit, but I cannot or turning the darkness up, and now I can't see my own tokens.
Oops. We wouldn't mind a little extra light to see what's going on.
Sorry, I had something on the map layer, and it needs to be on the token layer. All right. So you hear this banging on this door, and then moments later the door bursts open, and you see another one of these figures step out. However, they're kind of out of juice. And then you also hear, kind of coming back in the direction from whence you came, you hear the door, that like kind of metal door, kind of open, and you can see another figure just sort of step through the gate that you had all come through from the stair. You didn't see it below, so it must have been like maybe upstairs or on the stairwell above you, and it starts shambling also in your direction. But
these all look like patients, right?
They all are wearing the same patient outfits that you're wearing, but they all seem to be in fairly terrible condition.
It's awful.
On your turn, if you would like to try to observe more, you are welcome to. But other than that, that is it. All right, Mordio, you are up next.
We've got some more over here. And then the one that just came up. I'll do a takedown on him.
Okay, so red. So I just got them color coded just for myself. So there's the red one, and there's like the blue one that are next to you. There's a yellow one down by Florence, and there's a green one that came out of the stairwell. Which one do you want to go for?
The one that's just right in front of me.
Okay, go for it. Into the music. Sorry, I gotta get my Sirenscape going here. Forgot. There we go.
Oh, I failed that.
Okay, you want to use a token, fortune? Reroll that.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, you do. If
Yeah,
you do
you do.
that, it encourages people to help you by giving bits and all those things. You know, at least that's what I'm told.
No, I'm pretty sure they want us to die.
Tell you what, 1,000 bits. Pff, Mordio's dead right now. Just kidding. That's not true. That's not true. Because I would pay for that. Okay. Anything else you want to do on your turn?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just square him right in the chest with a punch, unarmed.
Okay. All right, go for it. Simple melee, standard. It's 2v2. 2v2 me, bro. That is a success.
Nice.
Roll damage. Roll d6. Add your BB.
Four.
Okay. Your PP is 3 plus 1 is
Yeah.
4. Do you want to
Yeah.
explode that?
No.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
So I don't have to write anything down. Good. Anything else in your turn?
I'll just bank the last AP.
So, Big Sis, you're pretty drunk, but you're pretty sure that Mordio is just sort of like putting his hand out and touching the guy, like very gently, like fixing his collar. So I'm like, you got a little smudge right there, and that's the extent of Mordio's attack. Okay, Big Sis, you're up.
All right,
Unfortunately, again, you are incapacitated, so this is gonna be a rough combat for you.
Oh, yeah, so that's what I wanted to look at, because technically I think with drunken incapacitation you're supposed to be completely passed out.
Okay.
But one thing that I don't know that I did last time was roll the 3d10 plus 3 for peril.
I'm pretty
for
sure
becoming
you
intoxicated.
No, I think it was because you crit failed an intoxication test, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. And whenever you become intoxicated, you immediately suffer 3d10 plus 3 physical peril.
But taking the peril wouldn't make any sense because the peril track moves you down in the direction of incapacitated, and by crit failing, you jumped immediately to incapacitated.
So are we saying that I'm just sleeping in my room?
No,
or...
I'm saying that you're lumbering around like a drunk because it wouldn't be any fun if you weren't here. right? So,
Okay. So I'm going
what
to
I'll say
lumber-
this. I'll say all skill checks flip to fail. How about that? So you can do something at least.
Okay.
We'll just do that.
Then that's why I figured I might take the 3d10 plus 3 just to give myself some negatives.
Well, you could take it, but you're already
Yeah.
So flip to fail everything that you try to do.
All right. I'm just going to try to do a takedown.
Okay. So
I'm standing right next to somebody already.
coordination test.
Yep.
Flip to fail Justin's forehead, because that's all we can see on the screen. It means that we just switch the thing. She rolled a 2.
Did roll a 2.
Which is a success because it's a 2 or a 20. So you do manage to knock Blue down. Blue falls down in front of you. So how does drunken big sis knock somebody on their butt?
You want to resist coordination?
No, I don't.
Oh, that's right, because you're So this is this doesn't look at all graceful. This is really just sort of a hey there, I don't think you're supposed to be there. Let me help you move out of the way, and sort of just kind of embracing and like falling on top of.
Okay. All right. So you're prone as well. So you fell down on top of them. You're both.
Yep.
Okay, I appreciate that. Okay. Are you all done?
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, Holy Roller, we're back to you. What do you want to do, boss?
I guess I'll do a simple melee to try and knock this thing out to get rid of it.
The one that's on the ground right now is out. The one in front of you and Florence, the two of you managed to knock it out. This thing is like kind of it's not, you're not sure for how long, but she didn't.
Unless you want to kill it.
You can kill it if you want, because it's helpless. So if it's helpless, it means you just step on its head or something.
Is it helpless forever?
No. It's helpless for a period of time equal to her CB. So it's 4 turns.
But any successful attack against will slay.
Will literally kill it. So if you attack it, you are literally going to kill it.
Do I want to kill it?
I don't know.
Friends?
That's up to you.
That's up to what is an Oscar Tenderfoot's heart?
Oh, he is a.
Is it Oscar Tenderheart?
It's Tenderfoot, so I can just stomp on its head, right?
I don't know. Chat, should he kill this patient? I don't know.
I don't know if I do, it's going to be glorious. But
yeah.
But it's a patient.
Yeah, I guess I'll just leave it there since it's kind of like dealt with.
Come on.
And it's almost dead, right? So like even if it gets up and starts fighting, if anyone hits it one more time, it's dead, right?
More or less, sort of.
Some squishly nerd says stomp on his head.
Says to tenderly stomp on its head. I like it.
Just a slow crush.
Just very careful. It's the most tender curb stomp ever.
I guess I'll move towards. I gotta check my yardage.
Just remember there you go. You got it.
I guess I'll move towards this area over here because that's where one of the things are. So I guess I'll use one of my AP to move up towards this area. That's the wrong thing. Or maybe move up towards this area.
Okay.
Can I move a little closer? Because I can.
It depends on your movement. What's your movement?
It's 9.
Yeah, you can get there. You're good.
All right.
You hustle over.
So I'll get over there. Use
Slip
one of my
and
AP.
fall on a blood spill.
Yeah.
That's
what chat wants: slipping and breaking ankles.
That'd be fun.
And stomping on heads till they mush.
So you got
I
one
guess
AP.
I'll do a simple melee on it to try and, or let's try and subdue this one too. I'll try the
Just remember, the only difference between like subdue and melee and like a regular melee attack is that subdue is like you're trying to do effectively non-lethal damage.
All right, then I want to hurt this thing, so I'm gonna do a simple.
Okay. All right.
All right, so I gotta do simple melee. Is there any it's standard, right?
Simple melee standard. You're 1v1 in a corner with it.
All right.
That's a fail, but we got 3 fortune. You're welcome to use some of that if you like.
I guess I'll use that. I didn't use one last time, so I'll use it.
Nice. That's what I like to hear. And I'm gonna bring the boss out later, and I'm gonna wipe.
All right.
All right. That's a success. Go ahead and roll, because you forgot to do this last time. Roll a d6. Add your BB.
D6. My BB. What's my BB at again? I'm sorry.
Your BB is your brawn. So look at your brawn. It's not the big number, but it's a small number.
7, so that's 7.
So you're up to 13, but your die exploded. So roll another d6. As long as you keep rolling 6s, it exploded again. So roll another d6.
All right, so I got 4.
So add it all up.
So that's 12, 19, 23.
Now, most people don't realize this, but Justin is a math teacher. So he...
Simple math, nothing really complicated. Let's not go crazy.
Arithmetic is just a bit too much. So what was the total?
23.
Okay. You just one punched this guy. And since you came up to him and he was kind of lumbering in, you can see that he was carrying what looks to be some kind of, I don't know, it almost looks like an axe. Looks like some sort of like crappy axe of some kind, something like maybe almost like a fireman's axe or something, and it clatters to the ground. Can you describe how you managed to kill this guy with literally one punch?
With grace. Joy, I will. So I am going to perform the dogmatic DDT, and what I'll do, kick him in the stomach. I give him a little kick in the stomach, arm around the head, get under the other arm, and I'm going to DDT so hard on this is tile floor, what I can see, that as I DDT, it's going to make his head completely explode, and it's just going to be a puddle of blood under my back and body.
That's gross.
Awesome.
I'm sorry, that's what happened. I'm sorry. Tile floor.
Kind of want to give him corruption for killing an innocent patient who clearly doesn't know where they're at and what they're doing. Okay, so that one is dead and gone. Your turn is also dead and gone, let's say. And Florence, it is your turn now. The one in front of you is sleeping like a little baby in front of you.
Okay. Did that one have anything on him?
The one in front of you, no, they were barehanded.
Okay.
I got the store. I had one more AP, so I have a stored one too.
Yep, that's fine. This one here had what looks to be some kind of like broken glass in their hand. This one looks to have some kind of makeshift shiv, and this one no longer does, some kind of crappy little axe.
Okay. And no damage got done to this one, correct?
That is, see, the only ones that's taken damage, yellow took damage, and that's it. And green is dead. But Mordio did not do enough to breach the damage threshold.
Okay. And so I'm going to come back to this area.
Okay.
I can't attack anything past
You don't have any ranged.
Yeah. So I guess I will wait.
Okay. Then the Acreus patients will go. Let me go ahead and just give this one a little something so we know. The big red X means it's dead. It's strange because when he smushed its head, the blood just made an X on the ground. It's wonderful. Okay, so then this one's still sleeping. The yellow one's still sleeping. Then I think I'm just gonna go with where they're at. So I'll have the blue one kind of attack Big Sis. I'll have the red one attack Mordio. Let's see.
Forget 800 pounds of Big Sis.
And
laying on top.
I know they're prone. They actually got to spend 2 to get up. But I'm just going to attack from the ground. I don't see any reason to get up. You're down here. They're down here. We're just scraping. We're just scraping on the ground. And so the one that's got that shiv is going to take a swing on the ground. I'll make it challenging since you're big and you're laying on top of them. But I'm still going to see if I can get a sneaky little shiv off. Oh, so close. So close. So close. Okay, I don't feel like these are going to stay alive too long, so I'm going to go ahead and use one of my misfortune just to reroll that, because why not? Come on. You can do it, Jeff. You can do this. No, I can't. That's way worse. That's way worse. I think I hurt myself. Okay, and then I think what it'll also try to do, since we're down here, is it will try to it'll try to choke you. So
I gotta do athletics to resist?
No, I have to make an athletics test first, and then you can. This one is equally large as you, by the way. Looks to be fairly tall. So.
Are there any tattoos?
Hard to tell. You're so drunk. There might be.
True.
Might be.
True.
Might be. All right. Athletics test. That's a crit fail.
That's a crit fail.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I'm feeling all right.
I like to think that they're just like trying to claw at her, but she's just sleeping so soundly on top of
It's
them.
choking. It thinks it has your neck, but it's really just squeezing your giant calf muscle. Like, and I will say that with the kind of light clattering on top of it, you do in fact notice that there are some wounds, but you're not sure if they're tattoos on their face. And then the red one that's next to Mordio is going to go ahead and with its improvised weapon will take a stab at Mordio.
Try to dodge its swing.
Okay, so that is a success. Go ahead and you had an AP banked, so if you would like, you can go ahead and try to barehanded parry because you don't
dodge, not parry.
Oh, can you do that with your? Do you have an ability? Let you do that?
Oh, do you need ability? Is it
Dodge
reaction?
Dodge is normally for ranged attacks. There are some skills
okay.
and traits and stuff like that that let you use it others, but melee attacks is usually parry.
Okay.
You can
I'll
do
parry
it, but you're parrying,
barehanded.
and even if you're successful, you're probably gonna take some like peril or something just from it. So
Okay.
go ahead and roll. Standard's fine. Roll your simple melee. So that's a success. Go ahead and take. So you, with your hand, you reach out and kind of push to the side, but in doing so, it kind of clips you. So go ahead and take 9 points of physical peril as you like kind of overexert your wrist trying to keep the broken glass from getting onto you. But you do manage to cast it away, and then I think while it's doing that, it'll go ahead and try to choke you as well. Reaching out with its last, and it'll miss, and then we'll move to Mordio. It is now your turn.
After deflecting his attack, I'll go ahead and go in for a chokehold on him as well.
Take it easy, Squidly. Thanks for hanging out. All right.
Looks like I failed that.
That is
again.
a fail, but we do have some wonderful fortune. I got to get rid of one of my misfortune because I used one. Do you want to use? We got 2 fortune left if you'd like to use it.
I'm going to go for the beat down instead. Try punching him again.
Okay, go for it.
This time it passed.
Okay.
Yay!
And damage. 7 this time.
Do you want to do a D6 to explode that, or are you happy with 7?
7's a good number.
All right, 7 will get it. Okay. Big Sis, you're up. And by up, I mean you are laying on top of this thing.
So,
That's great.
I actually, can I just try to do like a tear of the clothing that they're wearing at the top? Because I want to get a look at the neck.
Okay, you can
'Cause
do
I've
that.
already
You
got
can
them
do that
pretty
now,
well down.
or you could try to. You don't really have them pretty well down. Like they're not like you knocked them prone. They're not incapacitated or anything yet. So.
Okay, I'll just do a punching subdue.
Oh, thanks for the raid, Party Wipe.
Hey guys.
Thank you. Party
So
Wipe,
I'll
are you at Arizona? Is that what I saw it on your tour? Are you Arizona? I'm not sure if you're hearing, but I noticed. Okay, right on. So are we. Except for Justin, all of us are Arizona as well. Small world.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, good luck with the move.
So I was not successful in my simple melee.
Yeah, most of us are out by Glendale-ish. Long is like Gilbert area. Chandler, something like that.
Yeah, I'm Chandler.
Yeah. I know.
Nice.
Okay. Do you want to re-roll that, or are you good?
No, I think I'm good with that.
Okay,
I'm
Ultra.
just gonna see if I can try to do dirty tricks. Is there something that I can try to?
I'll also point out, by the way, that like it's going to be kind of difficult for any of your like Holy Roller or Florence, like you guys are kind of choke holding them, which is on the one thing good. On the other hand, they can't access them. So Florence, without any sort of ranged weaponry, can't really share a space.
Yeah,
you can
I
try to
can't.
like push past or something, but it might not be a bad idea for you to try to crawl away or something to give some space.
For me to crawl away?
Yeah, because otherwise, without any ranged weaponry, it's anything with reach they can't really easily.
Yeah, because
get.
I'm holding my turn right now. So
Okay.
if you move away, I can step in.
That's okay. I'll do a crawl.
Okay.
Drunken crawl.
Okay. All right. So you pub crawl away, and then so go ahead and move yourself back a few steps. Florence, I think you used 1 AP to move
Yeah.
at the start of your turn, but that's fine. And you can slide in if you want and take your rest of your turn. You got 1 AP left after you like step up if you want to do an AP to attack or something.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, big sis, you gotta move yourself.
Sorry.
All right, you're good.
Still routine.
No, there's just standard for this. It's 2v2.
Okay. Oh, 2v2. Got it.
Yeah.
And I failed.
Want to re-roll that?
Yeah, you do.
Am I allowed to buy more fortune points?
I mean,
If necessary.
sure. Like,
Okay, that's fine.
you can.
Then I'll do it.
Okay. I think you should buy me misfortune points. I think that makes more
Quite
sense.
possibly, it will be natural
All right.
anyway. I failed.
All right, so then we're gonna come back to Holy Roller. Let me move that back up. What would you like to do, man? Now you do know that there is a hallway down here, and you do know that more kind of came at this point. Mordio called it out from the end of the hallway, so you could always try to look for another way around if you want.
Yeah, I guess I'll do a little bit of movement. So
Okay.
let's see here. I got it.
If you've got 9 yards, you can want me to do this one at a time so you can see what you uncover, and
Yeah.
then we'll go from
So
there. So just move your
I'll
character.
do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll sit there.
It's great listening to a math teacher count. All right, you see a light down at the end, which is illuminating what looks to be a very heavy metal door that looks similar to the door that leads from the first floor ward back into the kind of the main entrance area for the hospital. You see a broken down door up here to your right. You see another door over here to the left. And then a third door on the left. So there's like 3 doors all on your left, so to the south. All of them look to be kind of reinforced. They're wooden, but also with kind of reinforced metal of some kind.
Can I pass through this door here?
Yes, that one's open, so you can pop in just fine.
Yeah, so I'll go into there.
Go ahead and do that.
See what's going on.
Let me go ahead
Okay.
and clean out some of this light really quick for you. And you can see that the other door itself this is like looks to be some sort of small storage room, and you can see kind of as the other door that goes into this storage room is kind of like flapping as if it was recently kind of knocked off its hinges, and it's still kind of clinging barely to the frame.
Now, can I search stuff in the room, or is that take an AP? Or?
You can roll. I'll give you an awareness test if you want, just to kind of peek and see what you see. Scrutinizing would be like kind of really starting to dig through and look really carefully. But if you're doing this like quick, kind of a quick glance, I'll tell you. You don't even have to do an awareness test. I'll just tell you. It just looks like a bunch of crates. Some of them say sugar, some of them say salt. There's some sacks, things like that. Looks to be a couple barrels of water in here. Looks to be some sort of supply closet, some supply room.
Well, on that last move, I only moved like 3 squares. Can I keep moving and
You can
kind
keep
of get
moving.
behind
Yeah,
this?
you can continue. Yeah, you can continue.
So I
into
can
that.
sit. Can I get? I wonder if I can get to here. Would that be too much, or?
Nah, go for it. It's fine.
All right, so I'll sit here. So that's 2 AP then.
You can take 1 more AP if you want to take an attack on this one.
I'll just store it.
What?
There's no reason to store it.
Wait, well, what if I store it? Can I be ready for like a parry or whatever?
It
You
was
can
attacking
be, but
me, though.
you can. No, I mean you could totally do that, but it's up to you if you want.
I guess I'll do a.
I'll
I
say
have
this,
that axe,
though.
right?
It's laying on the ground, and so I know you're like you're not as familiar, but like when it's laying on the ground, when someone's laying prone, that means when you take a melee attack against it, and if you successfully hit them, you can get extra damage on your roll. So like
Now
usually
I picked up the axe, right, from that previous guy.
You tell me. Did you pick up the axe?
Yes.
Yeah, I picked it up.
Fine, pick it up. And next week, you better actually read the rules. And then, so fine, you have an axe, sure.
So do I need to put the axe in like my items and
You
stuff?
can still roll.
or-
You can just roll your normal
Simple melee?
is fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only difference,
So-
is that this will do your combat bonus. As
Okay, so
damage.
I'll do simple melee. He's laying down, so do I get a difficulty difference?
I'll give you a difficulty difference because you're outnumbering them, so you can make it routine. But then if you hit, you also do more damage.
Mhm.
Okay. So I'll do that.
You can wield it in two hands, and that gives you a.
But you have to hit
bonus.
first.
Yeah. I missed by one.
We still got some fort. We got one
We
more
still
fortune.
got one left.
I mean, what do you think, team?
Don't ask them. What does your heart say?
What does your heart say?
Man, I really want to kill this guy.
Well,
Like, really want to murder him.
I just spent it. Sorry, you're gonna have to use it now.
All right. And I did not murder him at all.
Oh no.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Why was the rating not changed for the first one? I should have made it if it was routine.
Let's see. No, you needed the roll of 52. You
But why
rolled.
does it say 62 on the second one?
Let's see. That's a good question. What's going on here?
So the first one was accurate then.
20. Why does it say 62?
I don't know.
Did you type something into the modifier when the little pop-up window came?
Nope.
Do you have a rank in simple melee?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, if you have a rank in simple melee, then you should be at 62 to hit, which means the first one.
So
will
I
be-
made the first one. Okay.
But you spent
Yep.
the fortune, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it.
Wait a minute.
So since we've spent the fortune, then
Night,
we
Maddie.
can roll to. Good night, Maddie. Roll to first
roll-
damage.
Okay,
or-
so roll damage. Roll a d6. All right, so we'll go ahead and use that spend to explode that. So roll another d6. All right, 6 plus 4, and then what's your combat bonus? What's your CB, Justin?
He's
I'm
muted.
sorry. I was muted.
There you go.
5.
Okay.
It's 5.
So right now you've done 15 points of damage. Roll another d6 because it's laying on the ground.
I'm just really hacking away at this bitch.
That's 18 points of damage. That is not enough to kill it outright, but pretty damn close. But it has taken a pretty brutal hack to its back. All right, so then we are then going to shift at this point to. Let's see, where did I put my turn window? All right, so Florence, you had moved in the initiative.
Yep.
So it's gonna be the patient's turns. The blue one will stand up for 2 AP. We'll turn around and we'll attack Holy Roller, who just beat the crap out of it. Blue thing's only got a shiv though. Isn't looking too good.
Thank God I went to church earlier. Otherwise, this would have been a little bit.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
No, my character went to church earlier in the day. That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Don't see the connection.
Nope.
All right, let's roll. That's a miss. Can't do it. I'll go ahead and use one of my many misfortunes to re-roll it. Why not? That's a hit. Take 7 points of damage, Holy Roller, as this little bladed shiv starts eating away, and you get a little hole in your spandex.
Now my damage is 7. So does that have to meet or go
It's
over
gotta
it?
exceed, so you're
Exceed.
good. If you're damaged,
Okay.
well, do you have any armor? Are you calculating armor? Let me take a look because you're not
I
wearing.
don't think I have any armor.
I don't trust you because you don't know anything.
I think the
about-
only thing I have is the heavy boots, but that's not.
Okay. All right. I actually think you're all right. Yep, you're all right. You're good. So you do not take any damage.
So what happens is he slices at me and it just kind of tears open my butt a little bit.
I'm gonna say it tears. It still cuts it cuts the suit, but it doesn't do anything else. And then the red one will continue to stab away with its improvised weapon at the old antiquarian here.
Go for another parry if it hits.
Okay. Let's roll that shiv. That's a hit. Holy crap! You better succeed.
Wow.
Ooh.
You better succeed at this parry.
19 damage.
I might kill him. He's dead. That's a success.
Success.
You are gonna take more of that peril though. Let's go.
Whew.
Take 2 points of peril. You're fine. Okay, and then I'll go ahead while I'm here, and I will attempt to let's choke you out a little bit. Okay, you can resist the chokehold. So chokehold resist is athletics. You can do this.
Crit success.
Crit success. You choke them back. No, not only you can move one step back up the peril track.
Nice.
Okay, as you get a little burst of vigor as you want to finish this fight off, you're tired, and you're kind of curious about what the hell's going on up here, I'd imagine. Mordio, it is your turn.
Enough of this folly. I'll go in for the final blow, hopefully.
Okay. You could tell that the blue one's on its last legs. The red one looks okay. It's taking a little bit of damage, but the blue one looks, it's literally about to fall as this huge axe wound in its back.
All right, I'll assist in attacking the ones they've been beaten on.
Okay, make it routine. You're also starting to hear something moving in the room with the bubbles. Okay.
Successful hit.
Roll your damage. So roll a d6. Add your brawn bonus.
6 this time.
So it's 9, and that'll move it a step as well. So I gotta roll 2d6s really quick. All right, get an injury, and then anything else that you like to do?
Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to take down as well.
Okay. Good.
I'll try tripping the one in front of me.
Coordination. Routine's fine.
Oh, good.
All right.
That's it.
Okay, big sis, you've crawled away. You're still on the ground. 2
So
points
there's
to get
one-
up if you want, unless you have coordination. It's 1 point.
No, 2 points to get up, and then I want to follow where Oscar went.
Okay. So 2 points to get up. And
Yep.
then you can move, go ahead and place Big Sis wherever you want her in terms of her movement. And then it'll come back to Florence, whose turn it is now. Sorry.
I'm going this way, right? That's where he went, around the corner.
I don't know where this way is. You're over there
To
somewhere.
the south.
I
Of,
gotcha.
yeah.
Okay, Florence, what do you want to do? Florence, what would you like to do?
I would like
Oh, you're
to.
spam the chat with stuff.
Yep,
Okay.
I'm doing my job. I would like to attempt a takedown.
On the red one, the blue one's already taken down. Actually, no, the blue one's up. Sorry.
Yeah, because it stood back up. So I'm gonna take it back down.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do a coordination test.
It looks pretty, like it's literally a gust of wind would probably, a well placed gust of wind would probably knock this down.
Okay, just kidding. Stunning blow. Let's go for that one. So I'm
Stunning
gonna
blow
do-
is just going to remove its AP on its next turn.
Which one was the one where it just subdue?
Subdue.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I'm going to intentionally inflict. So that's just going to be another simple melee.
You can take aim
routine.
if you want to take it to easy first, and then
Okay.
roll it at easy if you like. It's fine.
I'll do that.
Let's see if you can knock this sucker out.
Done.
Okay, and you
Good
do
job.
as it's turned around and is scraping away at Holy Roller with like your elbow. You just right on its back, and it collapses to the ground. And you see a shiv go scattering onto the ground as well. A little small knife.
I'll pick it up.
Okay, that's fine. And then a Holy Roller. There seems to be just the red one left. That's it.
Is it still knocked down or is it straight up?
It's knocked out.
Okay.
Seems to still, but the blue one still seems to be breathing, but the red one's the only one that seems to be still standing.
All right, so I'll take my axe to it again, and I'll do that.
Okay.
So
To the blue one?
the one that's standing.
Okay, that's the red one.
So simple melee is still routine, right?
Yeah, that's fine. You can take aim if you want to make it easy.
I'll do that. So I got it.
Go for it.
Okay, so I got it. I got 46.
All right. and that'll. Okay, roll your damage. It's probably gonna be enough to kill it, but go ahead. Roll a
So just
D6.
D6.
What's your combat? It's more than 2,
Uh,
I would imagine, at least.
5, yeah.
Yeah, so that is enough, and the red one you can see goes falling to the ground. You see a couple few gasps, like sickly, wet gasp, and then it dies. It stops breathing.
And I just have blood. I have a mist of blood all over my face. I'm just like,
So, at this point, as far as you can tell, there are no more threats that are on the map. However, both the blue and the yellow one were simply knocked helpless, and the red one is dead, and the green one was dead. But the other two were like not knocked helpless, so you know that at some point they're probably gonna wake up. So you want to try to figure out what you want to do with them.
so I still have stuff I can do. Do we want to? I mean, can we
Are we
search?
out of combat?
I'm gonna drop combat at this point since none of them can do anything.
Okay.
Can we search them? Let's just search their bodies for any type of identification.
Okay. So
Yeah, I'd also want to look for tattoos from everybody.
okay. So Big Sis, as you were passing by the yellow one, you did notice that there were tattoos that seemed to be all over their face and down their neck that you recognize. You recognize not just the style, but kind of the manner in which they were applied. You look at the face has been sort of drained of any kind of blood. It's super pale. You can see that half of its face is covered in blood. I mean, you're not like 100% sure, but you're probably about 95% sure that this is most likely Ruckle Harding. But
And this is one of the ones that was knocked out, not one of the ones that was
Yes.
subdued, right?
Yeah.
yeah, I had to
Okay.
check my notes before. That's why I was like, hang on, let me look. I can't remember which one I said Ruckle Harding.
So I'm gonna kind of say to everyone, so I would appreciate if we keep an eye on this one. He is actually the fellow that I was here to find. So, and I will look around kind of on my next turn in the storeroom to try to find.
I drop turns. So just
Yeah,
tell me
there's
when
no
you're ready.
turn.
Just want to look for something to tie him with.
Okay. You start looking through. There's no rope specifically, but you do find some sort of drawstrings and things like that on some of these bags, and you kind of rip the drawstring out, and you can use that to maybe bind hands and whatnot. So you start ripping out some of that. And
I'm
as
going to
you
try to
do
do this, and it's not going to go very well, so I'm going to ask somebody to help. My drunken fingers aren't really tying a knot very well, but hopefully someone can help me with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone else help her. My hands are too covered in blood. So
Yeah, Florence will do it.
Thank you.
Mordio, you hear something sloshing around as if you ever seen somebody who's not good at swimming trying to get out of a pool and they're just kind of flailing a bit, or if you ever seen my dog try to swim, kind of like that. You hear those kinds of sounds coming from inside, like something slamming. You hear this strange kind of mumbled growling and as if something's moving around on the other side of that metal door that you're standing next to.
First, I'm gonna pick up the shiv that's on the ground.
I think Florence picked that up.
Yeah,
Oh,
I already
really?
snagged
Okay.
one.
There is a broken kind of flask that the red one was using. You can pick that up. It's basically an improvised weapon.
Okay.
That's the official, but you can pick it up. It's slightly better than barehanded. So
I'll hang on to that, and then I'll try to press up against the door to see if I can get a better idea of what's going on.
okay, you can roll an eavesdrop. You can roll it standard. It's fine. Yeah.
No good.
Nothing in addition to what I already gave you.
Is this
you hear
open?
something moving. It does not appear to be, but it definitely appears as whoever was banging on it here, if it's who Big Sis says it is, has been slowly kind of beating on it for a while. When you look at the door, you can see that there is a nameplate on it, and it seems to be an office for Dr. Garrett Ray. who you all have met, seemed to be decently friendly. Was an older gentleman with kind of like reddish gray hair and whatnot.
Okay. Can I attempt to enter the room?
If you've got skullduggery or athletics, you certainly can try.
Can I try with athletics?
Sure. Go ahead and roll a standard athletics test.
Yeah, I don't know skullduggery. Okay.
Oh yeah, skullduggery is a special skill. We never have knaves. Like and every time we play, no one has ever rolled a knave in our game.
No.
Okay. So unless somebody wants to buy you a misfortune point, that's a fail, which means you're going to burst through the door, but you're going to take... Oh, I didn't mean to roll 2. I did not mean to roll 2. I just meant to roll 1. You're going to take the first roll, the 9 plus 1.
The 9.
10 points of physical peril as you burst through the door, and you are inside of this some kind of office. And it looks very much like you would expect offices to look. Do you still have your candle in your hand?
Yes.
Okay. I would say you never went to the ground. I would say Big Sis probably doesn't. Hers probably scattered somewhere, but I would say Florence, you're probably fine. So you can see a few things as you kind of look around. There are some gruesome looking paintings on the walls. You can see that there is a desk in the center, on top of which there are some rolled up scrolls, like these long, almost poster size scrolls of paper. To the right hand side of the desk, so sort of to the east on the map, you can see that there's like almost like a trash can with a bunch of other of those posters curled up and sticking out. There are a variety of things on the walls. There are like various books that seems to be intermixed with certain kinds of kind of trinkets here and there. When you kind of come around and look at the desk also appears to have a couple drawers that have keyholes as if they're locked.
Well, I want to see what those papers are on top of the desk.
Okay, so you start taking the paper, unfurling them, and they look all like these very large, I would say, anatomical sketches of various humanoids, and so you can see, there's like one that seems to be of sort of a gnomish ancestry, one of human ancestry, and there's these fairly accurate sketches that seem to be breaking down various musculature and skeletal structures. And as you start going through them, it looks like all of your standard ancestries are represented here. Yeah, get them trinkets. Yeah. So, and then there's just a bunch of the normal things that you would expect to see on here.
Yeah.
That's just at first glance. If you want to do any more investigation, let me know. Think about that. We'll come back outside here. Okay. Holy Roller and Mordio, I assume that you all... Did you take care of the one in blue?
No, that one's... I just took that one, or subdued that one.
Yeah, that one's still breathing. Big Sis
isn't the one in blue, Big Sis didn't want us to touch, right?
No, it's the yellow one.
The one, and I've tied, Florence helped tie him up.
This one over here.
Florence and Big Sis took care of the one in yellow, who is the one that Big Sis is concerned about. The bluish one, the one that's got the blue frame around it. You look at it, you don't recognize them. And Mordio, you continue to hear movement on the other side, and it's starting to get more panicked. And you're starting to hear like kind of weird sounds, like they're trying to pass a stone.
Well, I'm gonna kind of try and subdue this guy. Can I do that?
He's already subdued. What are you trying to?
I guess tie him up so he can't wake up.
Okay, so you kind of go through the same thing she did. Try to rip out some of the drawstrings from different bags. You see all sorts of salt and sugar bags that are now kind of spilling over onto the grounds, but you manage to do so. Big Sis, while that's happening, Ruckle Harding comes to, and you have his arms bound, and when they look up at you, there is no recognition in their face, and that's particularly strange because this figure was well known to you and your family.
Mm-hmm.
just doesn't seem to know you, doesn't seem to speak, and at the sight of you, despite their arms being bound, they immediately are scratching at your eyes. What do you do?
So Big Sis will kind of push his hands down, and kind of look and kind of sneer a bit and like, you thought you could get away from us. And kind of waits to see kind of a reaction.
No reaction, just continuing to mindlessly go after your eyes or your nose, just whatever it can reach.
So I'm just going to try to just elbow to the temple.
Okay,
and just,
so just knock it out again.
Subdue it again, yeah.
That's fine. Mordio, what are you doing?
They're gonna tell you guys there's a lot of restlessness behind these doors. I think we need to move on before some more of these guys come. Maybe the keys go to this lock that's outside. You can try that.
Oscar, don't you have some keys?
Yeah, you did pick up a ring of keys off of the dead body
Do we want to
last week.
check all the doors except for the one with noise coming out behind it? So can we do that? I say we like clear the room before we go to where there's clearly a lot of crap going on. So I'd say
because I already tried the keys on this door.
Mordio, you can hear the doors rattling and being pushed open. The doors begin to open, but then the chains that have been wrapped around the metal handles keep them from opening up immediately. You see kind of a hand, this large, dripping, wet hand, slip out between the two doors, push a little bit, and then you hear, and then they settle back. And then you hear the pitter-patter of feet on the ground, like wet slops. And then you hear seconds later something push up against them once more, as if something's trying to push its way out of this room.
All right, guys, not to ruin the party, but we need to leave now. Has anyone seen an exit?
Yeah, let's get the heck out of here. Head back down the stairs towards where our rooms were? That'd be the best thing to do?
Florence, is there anything in that room that we need?
I want to look at the trinkets.
Don't forget, Florence, the whole reason you came out here is because you were looking for Daisy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Big Sis, what are you doing where you're at?
So I just asked Florence if there's anything in that room that we need before we clear out.
You see the doors once again are getting busted open, and then Big Sis, as you're looking down the hallway, please stop moving, Justin. As you're looking down the hallway, you can see they fling open, and the chains go flying down in your direction, and you can see the doors start flapping left and right. Something is imminently going to emerge. Are you staying where you're at? Big Sis.
She will try to swing Lucas into the room.
Okay. So
and kind
roll
of,
an athletics test.
Kind of behind him.
Routine. Flip to fail to see if you can bring him in. Okay, that'll be a success. And the two of you do manage to get in. And as you pull in, the door begins to close. You see this massive figure just out of the corner of your eye burst through those metal doors. Can't quite make them out. They appeared possibly to be naked, covered in some sort of liquid. What are you two doing, Mordio and Holy Roller?
So I want to just run down the halls and look for a room that's open that we can get out of here.
Yeah.
So when you come up to where you guys are currently, there is a door right in front of you that has, similar to the door that I described to Big Sis and Florence, but this one says Dr. Pater Rufflebar. But when you try the keys, you try to open it, it's locked. When you try the keys do not work.
We'll just keep continuing.
Okay. You hear the doors at this point burst open, and you hear the chains go clattering, and you hear the footsteps somewhere over here, but you're not quite in vision. As you attempt to use the keys on the door in front of you, they do in fact work, and you are moved and slid into this room. And when you look around in the room that you're in, closing the door behind you, it looks to be some kind of maybe exam room. You can see that there's blood on the ground. There's these three kind of platforms, not beds because they're not cushioned, they're more like platforms, and a variety of different sort of machinery around. You notice that there are various like gears and pulley systems. You can see that there's some chests and cabinets that still seem to be intact. And on the platforms, there appear to have been bindings, but they have been busted through. And the door is actually unlocked when you came up to it. By the way, you didn't actually have to use the key.
Okay.
So why don't Big Sis and Florence roll eavesdrops tests at standard?
Okay.
Ashley.
I passed.
Okay.
Fail.
You hear, Florence, some wet stomping of feet outside in the hallway. Big strides. Thump, thump. And then you hear like some kind of something dragging. And then you still hear periodically like this weird wail, like this sort of desperate, painful, confused wail.
Does it sound like Daisy?
No, it does not sound like Daisy.
Okay.
What is everybody doing at this point?
Can we kind of like look through the keyhole or through the slat in the door so we're not noticed by this thing?
Do you want to
And
listen,
can we also
or do you want to
can we also lock the door?
You start messing around with it, and the keys, like there's definitely a on the outside of this there was a keyhole and a bar, and the everything that you're able to do on the end, you can't like put the bar up or something like that, but you can slide some things over maybe to barricade it some more. That's fine.
So I'd like to look at it, but discreetly. Is there a way for me to do that?
Yes, you can. Go ahead, and I will say roll. If you're trying to peek out the door down the hall, go ahead and roll an awareness test. And since you're trying to do this discreetly, I'm just going to kick the difficulty up ever so slightly to challenging, just to try to do it kind of peek. And you're not really getting great light at this point. Okay. It's a critical fail.
Oh.
You open the door up, and you look. And as you're doing so, the door hits something that was sort of behind it. And it kind of makes this clattering noise. And you look, and there's some small metallic instrument, probably used by some of these doctors, that goes rattling across the floor, the tile floor, making all sorts of noise. And you immediately, your heart just stops. And you're going to go ahead and you're going to take 3 points of mental peril from fear, and you then hear a sudden quickened pace of those big footsteps coming in your direction. And as it gets to your door, it kind of slams against the door a bit, but the lock of the door holds ever so slightly.
Did I at least see it?
You did not see it. You critically failed. You did not see it, unfortunately. That's about as bad as it gets, man. Okay, Mordio, what are you doing in this
You
room?
buffoon, you're doomed us all. I'm gonna search this room for whatever there is.
Okay, so you can, if you would like, just start doing an awareness test is fine. You both have light. You can see that there are other candles in the room if you want to start lighting them up to give you a little bit more vision. But you can go ahead if you like to look around some more. With an awareness test standard's fine.
I failed.
As you look around, a lot of stuff seems to be broken on the ground. It definitely looks like there was somebody here, stepped on some things, made a bit of a mess, and you can actually see what looks to be the beginnings of the blood trail creeping out of this room. When you look up, strangely enough, there's kind of like a panel on the ceiling, almost like an open panel, and you can't quite figure out the mechanisms. You're not really sure, but you're wondering if there's some sort of lowering and raising system. Maybe they lower the platforms or they bring them up. You know there's a third floor, but if you had some time and you weren't under so much stress, you might be able to figure it out. But there doesn't really seem to be anything salvageable here. All right, other room. What are you two doing? Florence, Big Sis. You still hear those? You still can hear those slapped, heavy footfalls out in the hallway somewhere.
Florence, since Big Sis didn't hear that or anything, but Big Sis knew that the door was opening because that's why she came into the room. Florence will just, be like, we have to be quiet. We shouldn't leave the room yet. And she'll try and to quietly barricade the door.
Okay. So you take easily enough, try to drag over one of the chairs, do the classic slide it underneath the door handle. And
I don't like thinking about that. That didn't happen well for Lavinia.
Oh yeah. But that's fine.
A crit success, kick the door open.
Yeah, no.
What else would you like to do over here?
I'm gonna look for some sort of something I can use for an improvised weapon. Some sort of something heavy in the room.
There's a letter opener. Something heavy. There's a small table between these two chairs. You can do that if you're looking. That's the heaviest thing.
Florence wants to look at the bookshelves to see if there's maybe anything interesting, but also anything regarding Daisy, perhaps.
Go ahead. If you're looking specifically, you can kind of scrutinize the shelves if you want. Routine.
Okay. Routine. Scrutinize.
Can Big Sis empty the rolled
Pass.
things out of that trash can and have like this trash can to use as a...
You can, but the small table is probably better for you.
Yeah.
It's like a wicker basket versus a wooden
Oh.
table.
Got it.
And then Florence passed.
Okay, so when you look at the different things on the wall, it mostly seems to be various medical journals and books, different publications over the years. Nothing truly stands out as awkward or odd to you. There are lots of dried bones that have been displayed in various places. Not some of them are actually displayed like on little stands here and there, which is a little bit unnerving. But at the same time, it's a doctor. It's probably not the most uncommon thing. You're not sure. You do notice one interesting book that actually isn't a medical journal, which is probably the most curious thing. 'Cause most of them have like really academic or arcane titles, probably bore you to death when you look at them. But then there's one, and you kind of pull it out and you flip it open, and it looks to be some kind of sort of scrapbook, family book. Has little bits of, it looks like maybe pages of a journal, and like something falls out. And when you pick it up, sort of this detached, there's a charcoal sketching. And it's kind of smudgy, but it's of 4 young women. None of whom look like Daisy. One looks a little bit like you, but just because like the hair kind of is the same, kind of has that, because you're a fop, you kind of have that almost boyish kind of, right? Isn't that kind of your dress, like kind of?
Yeah,
you know
kind
what I
of
mean?
dandy-like.
Right. Kind of dressed similarly. When you flip it over, you can see that there's been names kind of listed. There's let me see if I wrote please say I wrote them down. But as you kind of read through them, there's Josephina, and that's the one, if you're lining it up correctly, it kind of looks a little bit like you. Dorothea, Natalia, and Bera. and it has a date, and it's from about 15 years ago.
Okay.
But there's nothing else on here that kind of, there's nothing here about Daisy at all. Doesn't appear to be any specific patient information in obvious places. This person subscribes to HIPAA, but there are locked drawers on the desk itself when you look over.
Can I see if they're actually locked?
They are in fact locked.
No.
Now you could attempt to pick them. You could attempt to bash them open, but if you need skullduggery, you can also just try to break them open with athletics. But you would worry about possibly making it easy to notice.
Yeah. Did I have the keys or did Justin have the keys?
I think Mordio had the keys because he was the one that was being very alpha about using them. So we're gonna give him the credit.
Okay.
All right. Shout out what you want to do. You hear the noise kind of comes and goes. Thump, thump, thump.
I'll wait for an absence in the noise before we head it out, maybe to a different room down the hall.
Okay. Roll a stealth check. Stealth checks, Justin, if you're doing this as well, stealth tests, you just roll them at standard. They're secret tests, meaning you don't actually know the real difficulty. So you just roll a standard and go from there. That's a really
Big 96
poor roll.
is it?
It's a good number.
It's a shame we don't have any fortune points if you want to beg the audience for some. But we don't. So Justin rolled a 30. Okay.
I gave you some.
Whoa. That's our money, Melissa. What are you doing? All right. Go ahead and reroll.
You better do better.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and try again.
All right.
Oh,
better.
no.
It's
Well,
low number.
We don't know if success failed, but
That's
a
true.
48 is way better than 96. So as
Very
the two
true.
of you step out, I'll go ahead and control it just because we're being really careful at this point. You step out, and you can see that there are puddles, like little streaks of what looks to be some sort of green, milky-like liquid that are all kind of up and down the hallways. Large footprints, bigger than your feet. You can see that the gate over here, as you look briefly, really quickly to your left, there's little bits of that same kind of greenish liquid dripping down, but it doesn't appear like that has opened. As you continue to move, you hear on the other side from where I'm pinging, on the other side of this storage room, you can you can kind of hear that same slamming, and not only that, but you hear like two different voices. One is just, and the other one is just screaming out in pain, like, and you realize that you left the blue patient that was bound in the hall. And Holy Roller, why don't you roll a challenge? Actually, both of you can do this. You can roll a challenging awareness test to see if you can get a peek kind of through these two doors. It's kind of a hard look. But you can go ahead and try it. Go ahead there, Mordio. Awareness, challenging. Mordio, you see about, you can't even see the head. They're so tall. Their head wouldn't clear the door. They're huge. They're naked. They're covered in some sort of strange liquid that's making their skin reflect the various candlelight and lantern light, whatever is still waning on the other side. And you can see all sorts of horrible scarring and disfiguration, but they are massive. And then you quickly dip as you mess around with this door that you're standing next to, and you realize that as you use the key to unlock it, you try to push it, there's something barring it on the other side. So you can either keep going down the hall, or you can attempt an athletics check.
Oscar, can you get through this?
Yeah, I'll attempt an athletics check.
Okay, do it. You can roll it with an assist die. So basically, roll the check like normal, standard, and then you can roll an extra d10 since Mordio's there as well. Just roll standard, and then now roll another d10. And so then you'll use the 36. So basically, you can replace the 8 with the 3 that Mordio's giving you.
All right, so you're adding more? Jeez.
And the two of you, like I said, man, reading the rules is interesting. You push through and you realize there were some barrels and crates that had been pushed up against the door. And when you step inside, you see 3 people. You see 2 more of those platforms. And you can see strapped down onto them are 2 figures that look just like the ones that you fought out in the hallway. And you see a woman hiding in the corner, kind of as crouched down low as can be, kind of whimpering and hands kind of up in defensive posture. And when her face comes up, you recognize her as Daisy, the woman who has been coming around with Florence, has been hanging around with her a bit. Seems to be her friend. You were on the ship a while, so you would probably know her, and she would probably recognize you. And when she looks up, she sees you all, and she says, she puts a finger to her lips, and then she points very carefully towards the 2 that are on the platforms that are bound, and you can see like a dog having a dream are kind of moving, but their eyes are closed as if they're not quite in full sleep. When you look around a little bit, you can see that there's far more stuff intact within this room, whereas the southwestern room that you were in, stuff was broken and on the ground. Here, it definitely looks as though some things are still intact. There are a couple crates. There are a couple cabinets. You can see, again, the kind of weird machinery that seems to be connected to some of these platform beds. When you start looking at them a little bit more closely, you wonder if it would maybe tilt the table or something like that. But there's a couple small cabinets as well, similar to the ones that you saw up on the first floor that were broken and were filled with different types of medicines and medical supplies.
Okay. First I'll whisper to Daisy if she's okay and how long she's been here. What's happening?
I don't know how long I've been here, but be quiet and don't get too close to them, because they reach out if you're close. It's like they know you're here. I couldn't sleep, and I realized I lost my bracelet when I was at my exam this morning with Dr. Neworth, and I couldn't. I thought maybe I could go get it. It's a good luck charm, and I saw the worker said that they would let me go look, but when they brought me up here, we opened one of the exam rooms, and these, I don't even know what they are. These people, they attacked us, and he told me to hide, and so I've been hiding. I'm so afraid, and now I heard there's more noises outside. Where I'm so afraid.
She just begins to sort of get a little bit apoplectic and shiver.
You seem to be doing okay. You were Florence's friend.
Is she with you?
Yeah, she's fine. She's with us.
Okay.
But there's more of them out there for sure. We ran into them as well.
Okay.
And then I'll take a look around in the cabinets that are in the room.
Yeah, so there's little latches on them, not so much locks, but it's almost like child-proof locking. So Holy Roller wouldn't be able to do it, but you're able to open it up. And there's when you kind of open up one that has some stuff, you can see that there's a few things inside. There's a pair of bandages. a couple little vials of things here and there. Kind of take a look. You've seen some stuff before. You would probably, maybe one of those is laudanum, some holy water, maybe. You're not sure. Maybe some quicksilver. It's hard to say.
Oscar, do you want to take a look at the bodies? Maybe put something nearby and see if they reach out.
Sure. Can I grab like one of the broken boards and kind of like slightly not poke it, but kind of get close to it?
Sure. So as you get close to it, it does seem to almost like its eyes are closed. It definitely looks like it's sleeping, but when somebody gets close to it, you definitely see it almost instinctively just sort of move in the direction of whatever's getting close to it. Its head restricted by these bindings going across its chest. Its arms as well. It's wearing the same patient outfits that you are.
So it's strapped up in this mechanism. Is there a way to like activate it?
There looks to be there's a whole series of gears and dials underneath, and if you want, you can try to take a look at it and try to figure it out. Let's see. You've got education. I'll let you roll an education because you're a smart fella. So if you want to roll education at normal or standard, it's fine.
Okay, I'll try
It's like
that.
a Mordio thing to do. Like let's figure out this torture device or medical equipment.
So there's definitely one that's very easy to figure out. It's just as you start to, it's a wheel, and you realize as you start tracking some of the gears and mechanisms that if you just turn it clockwise, it actually will tilt the body or the platform up, kind of keeping the feet side stable and then just bringing the front side up. There's also another one of those at the other side which will lift the legs and leave the head side in place. And then you realize that there is there's like a system as you look up to the ceiling, like these cables that can be brought down and clipped to the sides of this platform. And likely there's probably a mechanism somewhere up to the top that might raise this platform up higher into that, almost like an elevator shaft above you.
Looks like this might be a way up to the next floor. If we can get the others in here, we can head up.
Well, these tables are occupied. Maybe we get her and the others get back into that first room and then use those because they're empty.
I just want to go back to my bed. I just want to go back to my bed.
She's just mumbling that.
I want to go home. I don't want to go on an adventure anymore. I don't want to go on an adventure. Why did I ever want to go on an adventure? I just want to stay.
I'll go make contact with the others.
In the previous room, did you say it was broken in there?
Yeah, like the same thing, like where you have people that have been strapped down. It seemed clear that the people that were strapped down in the other room broke free, and likely might have been some of the folks that you were fighting. There were also.
But the mechanism still work though, right?
I'm sorry, say that again.
But the mechanism should still work though, right? Because these two are occupied.
You think so, but at the same time, you think that there's kind of sister gears and stuff on the top floor. So like there has to be coordination between somebody up there and someone below, because the cables are likely have to be lowered and then kind of clipped and then pulled up, and you guys don't really have access to that unless somebody wants to like Mission Impossible climb up the shaft. That's fine. I feel like I was doing like walk like an Egyptian too.
Well, we definitely have to get in contact with the others so we can get them matched up with Daisy. So let me go try and get to them so we can do that. So I guess I should do some type of awareness to make sure it's not in the hallway so I can get to them.
Eavesdrop if you want to listen, awareness if you want to look. What do you prefer?
I'll eavesdrop.
Okay, so go ahead, roll standard eavesdrop. Actually, make it routine because it's pretty quiet. Other than
Yeah,
you don't really hear anything. You feel like it's probably a good time to go out.
All right, so I guess I can stealth out there and try and make my way to them.
Yeah, I'll roll over
So
your
I'll do
stealth
it.
check. So as you step out, the last you saw is them. They were hanging out in the corner. Now you probably wouldn't know, but they probably went into, you would assume, possibly one of these two doors that I'm pinging. But you two the two groups kind of split up. As you, let me pull this out really quick. Sorry. There it goes. Okay, so as you take another step, you look to your left, and you can see just beating angrily into the body of two of the patients that you had left on the other side is this incredibly tall, muscular, disfigured, cuts, sutures, all sorts of markings. This naked man, back to you, squatting down. You can see places where the bone is almost pushing past the skin in this awful, painful way. And as you look, you just hear, and they slam. And as they continue to lift their arm up like it's getting covered in blood, and they're just, and I'm gonna roll to see if he hears you really quick.
Oh, Christ.
Or Caesar, I should say. And that's a 16. And as you step into their view, this figure turns and looks in your direction. And you can see that its face has like this huge suture coming down the middle of it, and these metallic staples that are kind of keeping both sides of the face together. And they're reflected, like the little bits of light that are still left in the lanterns are reflecting off of them. And they stand up, and you can see that there are these like little patches of now dried, milky green, pasty colorings, and they begin chasing at you. So what would you like to do? I can't wait for like the screenshots of me going. It's gonna look great.
Trying to remember here. I guess I
Thank you. Kind of you to say.
Coordination, wouldn't that be like getting out of the way?
So just tell me. Don't worry about skills. Just tell me what you want to do, and I'll tell you kind of what I might ask you to do.
I'm gonna try and I'll first check and see if this door opens.
Now I'm gonna tell you that you're gonna get one thing to do.
Okay.
What do you want to do? This thing is charging at you. I haven't moved it on the screen, but it's literally charging at you. So make a decision.
I'm gonna have to
Embrace it with your arms.
Come. I am your mother now.
I'm gonna run to my left to try and evade it and keep on trying to evade it.
Okay.
To distract it so others can leave. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. What is your movement?
Movement's 9.
Okay. So let me check its movement because it's higher than that.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm gonna evade and run to try and distract it.
Okay. So as you start running, like, are you gonna go? So you start running back the way you just came. Are you gonna dip back into the room with Mordio, or are you going to try to just kind of run around in a circle? Understand that you're trying to get them to get out, but they have no idea. Like, I know we're all on Zoom together, but their characters have no idea that you have this plan in place.
Well, since stealthiness isn't really a concern anymore, can I be screaming while this is happening? And
If you'd like.
Yeah, I'm gonna just scream as loud as I can. I got his attention. Get the hell out of here! And I'll just be screaming like a little girl as I'm running. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep on trying to take it around the circle.
Okay. All of you can roll trivial eavesdrop test.
Oh, no.
And so
It's gonna kill me!
As you run around the circle, it almost catches up on you before you even turn and pass Rufflebar's office. Okay, so
Those are some good
those are
rolls.
some great rolls for the two of you. Mordio, you're probably too busy. Like Daisy is like I just don't know why I came out, and you're like, oh my god, shut up already, something like that, because she's just like yammering and yammering. Maybe you're trying to be a good. You tell me. You're trying to be a nice person and console her, and the two of you are distracted, and so you don't really put two and two together. You hear some noise vaguely, but Florence, Big Sis, you hear Holy Roller yelling and screaming. What do the two of you do?
He sounds like he needs our assistance. We should probably go help him.
Yeah. Probably, yeah.
So, and I didn't, yeah. So I think I'll try to, maybe you should try to open the door quietly and we can throw things in its path when it runs by. Trip it.
You would probably not be 100% aware of what's going on.
Yeah, well, I don't think we're that aware, but we know he's in trouble.
You probably wouldn't be aware that they're doing like Indy 500 going on right now.
I'm ready to like roll out a spike strip. I mean, we're gonna coordinate this
That'd be
thing.
cool, actually. You tell me. Just tell me what you like to do. Don't worry about skill checks or anything. Just tell me what it is that your characters are doing.
I think we should open the door and see what's going on.
Okay. As the two of you open the door, you see this butt-naked man and the butt of him still somewhat glistening, but also these dried patches of those kind of green, pasty, milky coloring. And you kind of maybe catch the tail end. Holy Roller, do you have a tail?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. You catch literally his tail as it turns around the corner. It might just be the tail of his costume. I don't know. I don't remember.
And I'm running like this.
Yeah, okay. And this other one's just.
So is this a clockwise circle or a counterclockwise circle?
Clockwise. So, okay. So the two of you do that. Holy Roller, are you going to continue to run?
Well, we don't have much. I'm gonna try and run back into the area where he came from. That's
Okay.
what I'm trying to do.
Okay. Oh.
Okay.
You're going to the double doors?
Yeah.
All right, so let's see how
See if I can recontain him.
you can get 3 yards that way. So you can get to the door. I'm just going to do one, because it's so small, we're doing like one movement actions. I could do a chase, but it seems silly. So you run past, and as you do, we realize that the ground has just been obliterated with these two poor patients, one that you killed and one that you guys just left. But they are most certainly beaten, and neither of them are breathing. But as you run around and you're sitting there pushing the door open, you feel a hand just clamp down on your shoulder. And this thing is going to attempt to take you down. I'm just going to roll a D100 because I don't want to reveal their character name. I'm just checking what they get.
This is frightening. Okay.
I know.
Gap.
I told you it was going to be like a horror scary thing. Okay. That's a success. Go ahead, and I want you to roll. You can roll resist. You can try to resist this at challenging. They are much bigger than you. So their physical shape. Well, you're corpulent though, aren't you? Make it standard.
Where's resist at?
Oh no, I'm sorry. It's resist is just sort of like the name of the reaction, and so for trying to remember, they're trying to take you down. It is a coordination. So roll a coordination test. That's standard. Okay, and so you manage to slip. You duck your shoulder and manage to slip out. And as you look behind them, this thing is right on top of you. The brow is just almost broken and dripping down over top of its eye, and it's looking at you as if one side of its face, again, it's just kind of crushed the bone structure not quite healing from whatever procedure it has undergone. But you can see, now that you're up close to it, the same kind of massive gash with the staples, the metallic staples that are coming across his face, are everywhere. And there's all sorts of discolored patches of skin, small thin moments where you can actually see almost a translucence to the skin, and you can see little kind of you assume are bone that are barely visible beneath. All right, so the two of them went. Mordio, go ahead and roll an eavesdrop test again and see if you've heard anything yet. And then Big Sis and Florence, what do you two want to do? You just saw them run around.
Oh.
At this point, Mordio, I think you would put two and two together that he is in trouble. The specifics of which you're not sure, but likely whatever was out there has certainly come to has kind of gotten to him.
All right, Daisy, I think that's our cue. So you can either come with or stay here.
Why don't we roll a social skill test? You want to charm her? You want to intimidate her? What do you want to do? Lie to her?
I'm just telling her straight as it is.
Okay. So roll your best social skill. Charm, intimidate. If you have a skill point in anything, just roll it.
Okay, I don't have a skill point in any, so they're all the same.
That's not surprising that you don't have a skill point in any of those.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe like leadership, even. No, that's a flip to fail one. Never mind.
That's a flip to fail.
Yeah.
So yeah. You can do charm. I'll say charm or intimidate. Pick the one. If you want to be nice, charm. If you want to be a little bit meaner and more forceful, pick intimidate.
Oh, that's top.
And she's kind of a weakling, so make it easy.
Okay.
She's sickly.
She's weak of body, but also weak of mind.
Crit fail.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
I'm not leaving. You go. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. And so she is not leaving. She is staying right where she's at.
All right, have it your way, and I'll barge out the door.
Okay. So you step out. You look to the right. You can see Big Sis and Florence peeking out their door. You see no signs of Holy Roller. What are the three of you doing before we get back to Holy Roller?
Big Sis is going to be kind of waiting to kind of pounce. So she knew that, kind of Oscar was first and then he was there. So she's expecting there's going to be another lap and then, kind of ready to kind of hurl herself at this big creature.
So you're going to close in, or you're staying where you're at? I'm sorry, I kind of misunderstood you.
Well, because at this point, I'm expecting that they're going to make another lap.
Okay.
So I'm trying to be
wait.
prepared.
Okay.
So I'm waiting for Holy Roller to go by, and then I'm going to slam this person against the wall.
Okay. Florence, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna go out in the hallway.
Okay.
Because, and ask Mordio, have you seen Daisy?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, she's right behind me.
What a coincidence.
Who knew?
Just
it's
shot
fair.
in dark.
I'll let it go because you were looking for her. You were looking for her. It's fine. It's okay.
Otherwise, I'll go into other doors.
It's kind of convenient, but
A
it's fine.
shot in the dark. Is Daisy in the room you just came out of?
No, well, because
You've
no,
got
I
the
haven't.
look of somebody who's just seen Daisy.
No,
I know that frustration face. Totally.
I know that more as in like
20
I haven't
years of
seen
dealing
you
with
in a while. So Florence then will go into the room.
Okay. All right.
And,
so Mordio points to you. Okay, that's fine. That's your round. All right, Holy Roller. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna try and beeline back into this room.
Yeah,
and
the doors are just flapping. You can see that the chain and the padlock have been ripped and broken. Like this dude's big and strong.
So what I want to try and do is get into this room, and then get out of it before him, and then try and close the doors and bar it shut again.
Okay, there's no bar on this. This was chains. The chains were wrapped around these metal handles. There was a padlock on them. The chains and the padlock have been destroyed as this door was busted outward from, and you can see that the force was enough to rip apart the metal chains and just completely decimate the padlock. And it's all over on the ground, and the doors are just kind of kind of flapping, these little metallic. These are full metal doors.
Well, I think if I get in there and we can get out, then others can help me like hold the doors shut to try and keep it inside.
Okay.
I think that's what I can do. So I'm gonna try and work my way inside to try and lure it into the room.
Okay. You step inside. Let me go ahead and clean up some of the light for us here. Okay. So you step inside, and as you step inside, you notice there are 4 large tubs, and this seems to be the source of the bubbling that Florence had described. These big vats, and they're quite large. There are a couple along the northern wall. There's a couple to the left, to the western wall. A couple tables with a variety of equipment that has been set up, chests that have been locked, things like that. There seems to be a fairly modest collection of some alchemical equipment, but it looks not like a full lab, likely just a handful of measuring. There's a couple, what are those things called? They're called barrels. That's what I was trying to think of. Underneath some of these tables, you can see that the 2 vats here that you're closest to are both filled with this milky, greenish, mostly opaque liquid. And then you can see that these 2 over here to the left, you have enough light to sort of peek at them as well. Both of those look to be empty. You can see that coming out of the northeasternmost vat, there's, at this point, moist but semi-drying footsteps and all sorts of splashing around you of this greenish liquid. And you can see that the level of the liquid in the upper right one is definitely lower, as if whatever was inside of it has likely come out. The levels in this vat are much higher. But you step inside, you see that, and also over on the right-hand wall, like a rack of pool sticks almost, you can see 4 metal rods, each with kind of this bluish steel-like blade at the end, at the tip of it, and they are kind of restricted, as if there is some kind of padlock on them on the right-hand side, kind of keeping them in place.
Can I break the padlock with my axe?
You can certainly try. Go ahead and roll a hard test. You move up to the wall.
For
it's simple melee. You're just swinging a bat or swinging an axe. That's fine. And so you swing and you make contact with it, but it just doesn't break on your first swing.
Can I?
That's enough on you, buddy. And then
Okay,
this thing's gonna come in right behind you, blocking now your escape back to the door. And it is going to reach out and attempt to just grab you with this massive hand that is almost as big as your head and just try to choke you. So I think choke is what? Athletics, or is that coordination? Yeah, athletics. So again, I'm just going to roll a straight D100. That is a crit success, which means you cannot resist. You will... So as you're swinging, you pull the axe back, and you feel that hand on your shoulder, and like you're a little child being maneuvered by a parent, like a rag doll, you're spun around, and this massive, dripping wet with blood and greenish milk paste grabs you by the neck and squeezes. And you are going to take plus, double checking brawn, 14 points of physical peril.
Well, that's a hell of a brawn score.
As you suddenly cannot breathe. And we will then shift over to the rest of you. In any order you want, the 3 of you can do.
Yeah,
what
I'd like
you
to go down the end of the hall and see if I can get through that gate that was at the end.
to your left.
Yeah.
Go over to it. So you move over, and it appears to be some kind of. You've seen the same kind of door. It's more like a jail cell door. So it's got like metallic bottom, and then there's like bars at the top, like in a little window. And you try to use the key, and the key doesn't seem to work here. You've pretty much learned at this point that the key seems to just be for like really unimportant rooms, things like storage rooms, cabinets, stuff like that. But actually trying to gain access to other important doesn't seem to be the case. You took it off of not a nurse, not a doctor, but just one of those like house servants, and you would probably imagine that they don't have the kind of access. Oh, thanks for the bits, Sanguinist. You can give that if you'd like. That 100 bits. Do you want to give that? Give a fortune to the old. What are they called? Players, I guess. That's the word. I was gonna say heroes, but that ain't right. Okay. So yeah, it's just you're trying. It's just not working. And you try to look through the small cutout with the bars, and there's another door several yards away. And again, this is all pretty standard, identical to what you've seen below. And there just doesn't seem to be anyone here. It's dark. Florence and Big Sis. At this point, Florence, Daisy will get up. She'll come running to you, and she'll start hugging you. And she'll be incredibly happy to see you. And she's out of breath and scared. What do you two want to do? Big Sis, Florence. Big Sis, you're waiting for him to come running past, and when you peek out, you realize, where the hell did they go? It's like they went to the pit lane or whatever. What's it called? I don't watch NASCAR. I don't really know how to race.
They made a pit stop.
They do, yeah.
Florence is gonna tell Daisy, all right, you're gonna follow me and we're going to run, and I need you to get help. Okay? You're gonna go down the stairways and you're gonna find someone and bring help.
And since it's you, I'll let you. Yeah, absolutely. She's just gonna listen to you at this point. Sure. So you want her to follow you, and she's just going to run, right?
I want her to run down the stairs.
Okay. So I'll give her like 7 yards movement, something like that. She's not the greatest, but not, she's not, completely. She doesn't have a broken leg or anything. Okay. So we'll say she can get maybe. Are you running with her?
Yeah, I want to stay in front of her.
We'll say you guys get to roughly there with a big run. Big Sis, you see the two of them run past. Florence has got like her arm in the back, and like Daisy's grabbing on as they're running past. Big Sis, what are you doing?
So like you said, Big Sis is going to realize that she waited and waited and waited, and they should have come back on a loop, so she's going to go running after in the direction that she saw.
Okay.
Holy Roller.
All right, so you run out, and the three of you are kind of at this intersection. Go ahead. If the two of you, Florence and Big Sis, you can roll. Once you roll eavesdrop tests, trivial.
Trivial? Okay.
Yeah.
And I failed?
Wow.
Okay.
But we've got one.
We do have one, thanks to Sanguinus. Really appreciate that.
Do you want to do it, or do you want me to do it?
You can do it.
Okay. Did both of you fail? Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
And I passed. Okay.
Okay.
That's way better.
You can hear. You can't hear Holy Roller because he's being choked, but you can heal. Meow, meow. But you can hear.
Oh, what if he wasn't choking me? What if he was just pulling me up by the scruff of my neck?
Bad kitty. Bad kitty. Or I should say it. Good kitty. Bad kitty. There we go. Bad kitty. Oh gosh, I miss Big Pharma. Okay, I realize out of context that sounds strange. Big Pharma's character. Never mind. But I would say, Florence, as you hear kicking, you hear stuff getting knocked around as like Holy Roller, you were like lifted off your feet, and you're a heavy dude by this guy who's just holding you up in the air, your head kind of pressed against the wall, and your legs are flailing. And I would say, Florence, you hear some of that. You're probably not specifically privy to exactly what it is, but you hear that going on. But I'm going to come back to Holy Roller and say, Holy Roller, what do you want to do? You can try.
I want to try and escape the grasp of this guy.
Okay, so go ahead and you're going to roll another athletics test. Unfortunately, we are out of bits. Let me mark that.
What was coordination last time? You want me to do coordination again?
Did I say coordination? It should be athletics. Sorry. Yeah,
it's athletics for chokehold.
It's athletics for chokehold. Sorry, if I said that.
All right, so athletics at a what?
Standard's fine. As a fail.
My God, I'm just having a rough time in here with this guy.
Okay. Okay. So you're unable to do anything else. You're being choked.
Unless.
Man, Ashley. Come on. All right, you can re-roll it. You can re-roll it.
You know, I'm broke now. There's no more. So that's it.
All right.
Yay.
You managed to break the So you reach up, you grab this massive, thick wrist, and just kind of hack away at your little cat nails. Yeah. And finally lets it go, and you drop to the ground and land on your feet, because all cats.
Oh yeah, I'm laying on my feet. Obviously, yeah.
Okay. I'll let you do one thing.
For those cat noises.
Yeah.
Can I try and slink by it to get to the other side so I'm not cornered anymore?
That's gonna be very, very difficult for you, considering how big this person is. Now, when it comes to kind of maneuvering when it comes to moving out of an engagement like this, you want to be careful, because there's attacks of opportunity. So they have the ability to attack you if you start moving away from them. You can, if you would like, try to move up and around and kind of into the vat and get around them, but
yeah, I want to try and like head from here to here.
Okay, what I'll ask you to do is I'll ask you to make a coordination test. Unfortunately, a maneuver isn't going to get you very far. A maneuver is how you safely extract yourself from an engagement, but it only moves you like a yard. A hustle is just your normal movement, and it gets you your 9 yards, whatever like that. But a hustle would provoke an attack of opportunity from him. So it's up to you. You can try to maneuver, and I'll say you can kind of get to the other side of him without him doing anything terrible. But that means you're still going to be within his range for him to do something. Or you can try to just make a run for it.
I'm gonna roll with it. I'm gonna try and make a run for it. That's what I'm doing.
Okay, I would like you to roll a coordination test to see, because you're kind of hopping into the vat, which is partially filled with this liquid, and then roll a coordination test. I'm going to make it challenging. Moon, man, Zweihander is a fun game. I really love it, to be honest. I really, really do. We've been playing it for almost a year at this point. It's pretty slick.
That's strange though. Even though, here's the thing, it should be at 44 because I have a point in coordination and it went challenging, so they should negate each other out.
They do negate each other out.
So this should be a 44, not a 34.
What's going on with your roll? I'll have to check it later. But you did roll a 34. Let me look at your character sheet really quick.
I rolled a 40 and it should be a 44. Yeah.
Well, it says you rolled a 44 and it's subtracting 10. So what
it should subtract 10. No, you're in peril. You have peril. That's why, because you're ignoring one skill rank from peril.
Oh, okay.
So no, you failed, and you slip and fall, and you're inside the vat, and you are covered in this goo. It's not goo. It's literally like milk consistency. It's very warm as well.
And I start lapping it up because I'm a cat.
Okay, and you immediately die because this stuff's not good for you. This thing is going to again attempt to chokehold you, except this time they're going to reach down and shove your head down into this milky liquid. I will go ahead and do the whole take. I mean, this is insult if I take aim, but I will anyway because it's so easy for me to succeed on this. That's another crit success. I'm actually glad I took aim this time. Otherwise, I would have failed. And so, sorry, this guy's got a lot of ranks in athletics, all of them. So I am going to.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I don't want to roll their actual name. You're just gonna have to trust me. I'm not lying.
Is this the end of Holy Roller?
16 points of physical peril as you are now being drowned in this milky substance. And then we're going to move over to the other three. Mordio, Big Sis, Florence. In any order you want, what are you all doing?
Big Sis is still trying to run in the direction of where they might be.
Okay, so I would say at this point you can see, and you can run up inside, and you can see. What do you want to do when you run inside?
Mister, remember, you're drunk.
You are drunk. Everything's flipped to fail because I was being nice. It's like, I want her to be able to do stuff in this opening combat, and we're still in the same map. It's totally fine. It's been really fun. But I was like, oh yeah, we'll knock that out in half an hour. Tons of other things we're gonna do. It's okay. This is way better than anything.
I'm drunkenly brandishing a table, and
okay, yeah, you got that table from Dr. Ray's office.
Oh gosh,
I do.
What do you want to do with it?
It's going across its back. I mean, there's gonna be a little of like, oh shit, that's big.
Yeah,
like,
definitely almost as big as you. Or excuse me, definitely a little bigger than you, but not by much. You're a big, tall ogre, so this thing to you is not as big. Justin's heavy, but he's not as tall as you.
Okay, so what would I be rolling that I'm basically going to come up and I'm gonna almost do a little bit of a, crack of a table over the back.
Okay, so you can just attack. You can just attack if you want to just walk up and attack them. Just walk up and attack them. If you're looking, I mean, like, you just tell me what you're trying to accomplish, and we'll make something up.
I'm just smashing a table across.
Okay.
Their back.
All right. So
if I can reach their head and neck area, I would, but I may not be able to. So
you can do a called shot, but that's going to increase the difficulty, especially if you're going to the head. The head is much more difficult to attack. I think that's 30% difficulty for a head called shot, something like that.
Okay.
I have to check my charts, but I'm pretty sure that's
as high as I can get it.
Okay, so you just want to attack. So you're just attacking the body. That's fine. You're just cracking it as best you can. Roll your attack. Simple.
All right. What difficulty?
Simple melee. Standard's fine. You're both roughly the same size. This one's probably a little bit more muscular and a touch taller than you, and very gruesome. That's a crit, and so you can roll damage. But what I'll say, even more importantly than damage, is that you manage to distract with that crit. They can't do anything because you crit, so they can't parry or anything like that. You distract them to the point where they let go, and you see like a ball that, like a basketball or a volleyball that's been held underneath the water of a pool, is suddenly let go. It just go bloop, plops up.
Yep.
You can see your Ubasti friend come popping up above the surface.
All right. So what am I rolling here?
Just roll a d6 like normal. And improvised. What would I give you? I give you a. What do you? You're swinging with a table, right? So we'll treat this like an improvised weapon. So roll a d6 and then add your. That's not the right window. I think it was I want to say combat. CB. Nope, BB.
All right.
Sorry, BB.
BB is better.
Okay.
So I have. So 11.
11. All right. That will actually damage it. Very nice. Actually, no, it won't. I'm sorry. So as you slam,
11 doesn't damage him.
as you slam this table across its back, it just turns to you and lets go of the cat in the water and turns its attention to Big Sis.
Well, poop.
Florence, what do you want to do?
I'm yelling at Daisy that she needs to run.
Okay, Daisy will listen to you and will start running, and we'll say she will get to the stairs and boogie. Florence, what do you want to do? And Mordia, keep an eye on what you want to do as well.
Florence is gonna come into the room. She's gonna follow Big Sis.
Okay. You see this impossible creature. Roll an awareness test. You could treat it as easy. Plenty of light in here. With the two of... Actually, no, there's not a ton of light in here. You probably have light.
I still have a candle.
Roll an awareness test. We'll make it challenging.
Challenging?
Yeah. There's a little ambient light coming up from the vats themselves, but not much. Okay.
I failed.
Yeah. I mean, you see everything in front of you. You hear some bubbling, and I'll say that you think you see something moving here, but you can't. Where I'm pinging in the vat next to you, but you can't quite make it out. All right, Mordia.
Yeah, I'm gonna hustle back down the halls and up to here.
Okay, go ahead and move yourself.
See if I can get through this door. I believe it's here.
Okay. It is just like the other metal door. It is double metal doors. There is a chain across it, across the handle, and a heavy padlock. And when you listen, very similar to the other one, you hear bubbling.
I'm gonna keep hustling and meet up with the group then.
Okay. So I'll say you can probably get right to the bodies or something like that, and you can peek in and maybe do something next time. All right, Holy Roller, you are exhausted. Like you know that you're not close really to taking enough physical damage to knock you out. You know, you are so exhausted. You haven't been choked like that. I was gonna make a joke. Nope, this is Zweihander's channel. I gotta be careful.
Oh God,
nice.
please.
The same, yeah, professional. But yeah, you feel awful if you don't get out of here.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get the hell out of here.
Okay.
So.
Do you want to just make a stone cold run for it?
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
So you're gonna have to spend a couple AP to get out of here, and then you'll spend another AP to run away. And so I'll put you out here. I am gonna take a swipe at you as you leave. So let me just roll a quick D100. That'll be a success. Let me roll my D6, and let me check my bonus on this. Okay. That's gonna be 11 points. Oh, look at that. 11. Hey, Adam. 11 points of damage this time, not peril. As you're running away, he just takes this massive fish, just slings past you and catches you, like right on your ribs as you're climbing up out of the vat. But you do get out of the room.
It's better than physical peril, so I'm okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Okay, you're out of the room at this point, exhausted, and you have a terrible bruised pain on your ribs.
Big Sis yells as he runs by, "You're welcome."
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, Cookie Monster. Nom nom nom. Yeah, he does. He runs on cookies. All right. Big Sis, Florence, what do the two of you want to do? Actually, wait, no, he gets to go. What am I talking about?
Oh, Christ.
Big Sis.
I suppose.
I mean, you're right there.
I know.
You're such good heights. It'd
know.
be a perfect romantic comedy with the two of you, if not for the fact that he's terrible. He's definitely not Liam Neeson. Not saying Liam Neeson's attractive, but I was thinking in my head Liam Neeson's a tall, lurching fellow. That's how it was working in my head.
Whatever, just go ahead and kill me.
I'm not. I'm just going to try to choke you. And then it's another success. You can resist with athletics. Standard's fine.
You know it's bad when a 63 is a success.
I told you, this person has very
know.
high
Success
athletics.
with an 88.
I took aim on
That's
that
a
one,
fail.
otherwise it would have been a fail. Okay, so you see
That's a fail.
Florence as Big Sis is grabbed and choked by this figure, and the two of you can do something. What would you like to do? Just to give you a little peek behind the curtain, 9 BB.
Oh my God.
On a standard, the standard athletics test is 80% to succeed, which is why taking that
Oh my
that take aim put me at 90%, which allowed the 88 to be a crit success.
Jeez.
It is a social class.
When your GM, you just do whatever the hell you want.
True.
Social class? Say that again.
Yeah, what's his social class?
Lowborn.
Fuck. Okay. Never mind.
What would Ryo Hayazuki say?
God.
Remember when we had Ace of Base stuck in our head at the beginning of the night?
Yeah, now it's just panic. Like,
Yeah, this is no longer.
Don't turn around.
I'm not gonna think about
So-
Real Haizuki because nobody cares about Shenmue, and that's all I have to say.
Okay. All right, Florence, Big Sis. Big Sis, you can try to break. It's your turn. We're pretty loose
Yes.
with initiative order, but everyone's getting something to do. So, Big Sis, if you want to break, try to break. Athletics, go ahead.
Actually, did we do the peril for me being
thank
choked?
you. Thank you for your honesty. That's not good for you because that's 18. That's going to knock you incapacitated, I think, again. Is it not?
Well, that's what I was trying to figure out because I don't know where I am exactly.
Okay, just it's fine. Just take it like normal. It's too late now to figure that out. So take the 19 points. What did I say? 19? 18.
Yeah,
18.
18.
It's 18. 18 points of
got
physical
it.
peril. And
Yep.
now go ahead and roll. All she wants is another baby. That's right.
All right, so now I'm rolling my athletics.
Is there a
to try to
third
resist.
song that Ace of Base was famous for? Because it's all that she wants. And then there was I Saw the Sign. Was there a third one? I feel like
I
there's
don't believe
third.
there is.
I'm
No.
forgetting. They only did 2 ever. 2 hit wonders. All right, you break.
That's a flip to fail, though.
She's gone tomorrow, boy. 72 will be a fail. So you're still choked. Florence, you see your big friend is being choked, and she seems to be struggling.
We did forget about that one.
Don't turn around. Yeah. Gone tomorrow. That's right.
I
knew there was
have-
3. I knew there was 3. There were 3 big songs. Okay.
I have that Shiv.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm gonna give you this for free. You look at this creature, and there's just a desperate. I would say, you look at this little tiny Shiv. You look at this big creature. Big Sis, just smashed a table over its back, and it didn't even flinch. I would say that you would probably at this point realize that you all are a little bit in over your heads. So it's the question: is there a way for you to help Big Sis? But if you don't, I mean, like, definitely you already know this, but if you don't get out of here quickly, this could turn even uglier than it already has.
yeah.
As Ace of Base would say, just walk away.
Oh God.
Just walk away.
Can I attempt to like just to get him to release her, like an attack, like nothing, like too bad, like just to get him to drop her?
Please, sir, might you just release her?
Because like originally what I wanted to do is if he was a different social class, I wanted to just try to charm him, but like that doesn't seem like that's gonna help me. So
It's up to you. You tell me what you want to do. Don't worry about abilities and stuff. Just tell me what you want to do, and we'll figure something out.
She
Is he,
wants
like,
to save my life.
intelligent at all? Like
Well, that's a kind of a rude question.
no,
to
but I don't mean like, you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean? Like, is he like the other ones that we fought? That
I'll
are-
say this. No, this is much bigger.
Well, I get that
Roll a
he's bigger.
scrutinize test at routine.
Okay,
How about that?
Jeff, I'm panicking right now.
You should.
You've been in a steady state of anxious for the last 2 hours.
You're not the one who's drowned in a pool of milk water.
Does it? If
That's
I
good.
need
No,
it?
you're good. You're good.
Okay.
There's only one figure that you have seen that has got this kind of shape, and that were the orderlies that you've seen. The ones with sacks on their heads
Yeah.
that, according to Mordio and Holy Roller, had dragged that one individual away. So it's up to you what you want to do with that information. But you also know that they only seem to kind of respond to like the nurses or the doctors or something like that.
Can I try and like command him to stop? Like try and treat him like the orderlies?
Sure. You want to do an intimidate or something?
I don't have intimidate.
Intimidate's not special, if I
Okay.
recall correctly. Yeah, intimidate's not special.
Okay.
Leadership's special.
What rating? Standard?
Let's make this. You're trying to intimidate this giant dude who's Having no trouble.
I'm just trying to command him to stop. Like I have like pretending.
I'll
like,
give you challenging.
Okay, like I have my foppish authority. And I pass?
So it's gonna look at you with great confusion in its eyes. And then good news, bad news situation.
Okay.
Good news.
He lets her go.
Lets her go.
Bad
news. Looks angrily in your direction and begins reaching out at you.
I don't think he likes the orderlies.
I mean, it's not the orderlies that tell him what to do, but you know.
Okay.
Okay, I still have AP. I would like to. Oh god, I only have. Can I charge away?
You can run. Right.
Okay.
Run
is 3.
Run is 3. So you can. We'll say you did the whole thing with the. You did the whole.
Do a double hustle.
You did intimidate. So if you want, you can just hustle, and hope. Just charge away.
I'm gonna yell.
I think you should
just to run.
You should walk over to Holy Roller, beat the living crap out of him. Be like, see, same side.
No, I'm definitely gonna hustle twice, just towards the stairwell.
I will go ahead and take a swing. I mean, not me, but this creature will take a swing.
This yet to be unnamed.
That's a success.
Yep. Okay, how much am I getting?
All of these rolls that would normally not be
I know,
successes are just.
I don't believe in balance encounters. I think they're the stupidest thing. 14 points of damage. Is it Tuesday already?
Christ. Okay, that's too. I'm running.
Okay, let's see.
Farewell.
Adam gave some bits here, so let me update our count. Let's give a fortune back over. I know that Dark Astral game got crazy. I don't think we're quite there yet, but maybe one day. Okay, so you're gonna move out. We'll say, Florence, you can get over the stairs. Mordio, you watch all this happen. Big Sis, Mordio, what do you want to do? Big Sis, Mordio, Holy Roller, what do you want to do? And then I'll have the big dude do something.
Yeah, I'm gonna hightail out here. Run after Holy Roller.
All right.
Yep, run.
Okay.
I want to head back to my room and go to sleep.
Okay. So all of you begin running down. Let's just put you, say all of you out, leaving Big Sis to die. That's good. Big Sis, you're running out as well, I am assuming.
Indeed.
All right. Okay. So you start running out, and you're hustling, and you hear...
Actually, I need to stop and grab my guy. Sorry. No, I'm just gonna run. Never mind.
Okay, I was gonna say, like
Like,
you left him in the office, so you have to run back and get him. So it's up to you.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Run.
You guys hear the chasing. Big Sis, you're the last one out, and as you run past the figure that was one of the crazed patients that you had all fought, there was like the one that was just inside the gate that come down from the stairs. You can see the orderly stop chasing you, turn, look down at this body on the ground, and just angrily start beating it with its fist, distracted.
You know, I honestly thought that we could probably do that. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
God damn it!
Sorry, man.
It 100% crossed my mind. Son of a bitch.
Exactly. You should have said something. All right. For the first time tonight, we're gonna actually switch back over to the drama screen. We've been on the map for so damn long. All right. But you all, will say, for sake of expediency, managed to get out. How many of you took damage?
Me.
I did.
Did anybody have to roll for injury?
I need to. I'm moderately wounded.
Go for it. Roll your d6s. 1d6 for moderate.
2.
Okay. Anybody else?
No
I'm
damage.
lightly wounded. I don't know what I would do for that.
Lightly is there's no roll for injury. So it's your second tier down, basically.
You don't understand how angry this makes me. 'Cause it legitimately went through my mind.
So You all return to your room area. Do you all just run back into your rooms? Like Daisy immediately dives in underneath the bed, kicks the bedpan to the side, and she's just gonna stay there for the rest of her life. What are you all doing?
We got to search for an orderly or something. I think that might be the best thing to do, so we can let them.
Florence kind of concluded that figure that you were fighting was likely an orderly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I gotta update the.
Well, not an orderly, then like a doctor or one of the people.
Oh, that was an orderly.
Okay.
Well, Big Sis knows at this point that it's not chasing you anymore. They stopped and were. I think that's right. Nope, that's not right. I'm just updating our. I think it was I had 3 misfortune versus your 1-4. I think that's right. So I think you would know that it sort of stopped at this point. Whether it's going to continue down the stairs, who knows? But there also is this body of this servant that you took the keys from on the ground as well. So maybe they're going to get busy with that too. What's the plan?
Try to find somebody that works here.
You go to the gate on the far western wall. You know, the door that would go to the entrance. You bang on it. You scream. There's no response immediately. What do you do?
Break open the door.
Yeah.
These are metal jail doors. Not
Florence
easy.
is gonna go to her room and she's gonna barricade herself in there with Daisy, and she's gonna suggest that y'all do the same.
Okay.
Yeah, probably the same thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if we can't get out, might as well hide.
Okay. You all. What about you, Mordio? Just walk away.
Yeah, I'll take a peek into the rooms we crossed to see if there's anyone here, and then we'll just bear up.
So you peek into a few of the rooms, and you can see that there's some of the other passengers that are sleeping away just fine, like babies, like little baby cats. It's fine. Completely oblivious to all of the craziness that has befallen you this eve.
Okay.
All right.
We'll just bear down then.
As you all are hanging out, you do eventually hear the creak of a metal door opening. And as you kind of peek out your doors, you see a lamp. And you notice there are a couple of those nurses with their full getup on, meaning their hats are on, the veils covering and tucked into their shirts. You can see a couple doctors, full getup, plague mask on, these hats, wide brim hats over top of them. You see one of the other orderlies is lurching behind them. Full outfit, though, is on, including the sack on their head. A couple of the nurses and doctors are carrying those poles, those sticks, that holy roller you were trying to get when you were in the room.
So close.
And they just sort of walk past you in the direction of the stairs going up. Do you stop them along the way, or do you let them go?
I'll let them do it, I think.
I'm gonna sit still because I'm real exhausted and I can't.
Okay.
I don't want to talk to nobody right now. Just leave me alone. I can't operate without my nap. All right.
Okay.
We are well aware.
All right. All right. In that case, you all hang in your rooms. Some of you eventually drift off to sleep. Some more quickly than others. Holy Roller, you're out in a couple seconds. Mordio, you probably up a little bit longer. Hear the distant sounds of something. Shouting. Footsteps above you. But eventually even you two drift off. And then morning comes. And Big Sis, you are woken up from a dream about green sloshing liquid. And there is Lucas Bogg, your cousin. He has just taken a bucket of you hope is water and thrown it on your face. And you see he's got this very angry look on his face. And he says, "Are you going to sleep all day?"
What? What time is it?
It is midday. If your father could see you now, he would be ashamed.
Well, what you don't know, because you were sleeping last night.
What
while
you
I
don't
was
know
not.
is that the ship is gone. And we are still here. And then you see him just drop the bucket down, step out into the hallway, and slam the door behind him. And that's where we're going to end tonight.
Oh no.
That's great news because I just bought some property on this island and I can turn it over.
All right. Man. Whew.
Oh dear.
That was
That was
crazy.
a long night. That was a very long
I
night.
did not. I thought we'd be done with that in like 30 minutes, and I had all this other stuff. So that's great. I got all this
my
other stuff ready to go.
Gosh.
It was all a terrible dream.
Anybody take anything? Thanks, Adam. Anybody take anything?
I took
Thanks,
the
man.
axe.
You got corruption
fine.
for smashing someone's skull in.
Yeah. Let's see. Take 3. Holy. Did you take any of those medical supplies there, Mordio?
Yeah.
Take.
Snatch the bandages and
Okay. So I think it was 2 bandages, a laudanum, and then I think it was like 2
holy water.
2 holy water. There we go. Take 3 points of corruption for snatch and stuff. Hey, Mr. Puddins. We're getting ready to wrap up here. Thanks for joining. Let's see.
I took the shiv.
Shit, I'm fine with you taking the stuff that was on the ground. Like, that's okay. But, like, breaking into a cabinet and stealing stuff, that's a little different.
I broke a gentleman's table.
I'm okay with that, too. I would say, Florence, you were snooping into Dr. Ray's personal things. You can have 3.
Okay.
And that's it. So let me do a quick roll. Sorry, I never think about this stuff. I rolled 3. I think it has to go above, so I think you're all okay as well. Someone in chat can remind me. We never get evens like that. Okay, let's see. All of you got your night's sleep. I'm going to say, however, that it is no longer in relative safety, and the most you can move up to is unhindered on your peril condition tracks.
Imperiled?
Imperiled, sorry. My bad. Unhindered.
That's
So
a-
if we're at
that's a
imperiled, we can't move
Unbelievable improvement for me, so I'm good.
It's relatively easy to get peril back, but I would say 2 nights in a row, meet or below, and you gain a chaos. Oh, we did meet. So all of you who had 3, thank you, Ed. Take chaos. Then let's see. All of you who meet or below, you get a chase lounge. It's nice. I'm like, well, thanks, Zweihander. Okay, so
Well earned.
all right, let's see what else. We'll do the toughness test, the daily toughness test when we get back next week. And yeah, I think that's it. 100 reward points, everybody. We didn't really make any progress on personal quests. Now, I would say, no, I was actually, that's incorrect. I would say, Big Sis, you have gone ahead and completed the first step in your little personal agenda because you have located Ruckle Harding. All right.
Yay.
Okay, so we're gonna close up shop. You're welcome, Moon. Thanks for joining us, hanging out. Hope you come back next week because we're gonna do this again next week. Our time is, what do we do? 9? Is it 9? 9 p.m. Central Standard Time is when we start. So come hang out every Thursday. We'll be doing this. We also, the rest of us, a couple of us, except for Justin, we play another game on Fridays over on our own channel. That's twitch.tv/the Lollygaggers. We play a different game. It's Mutineer Zero, post-apocalyptic game by Free League. And we start up there at 8 Central. So if you want to come check us out, it's kind of a new channel. We would love to get some followers over there. And check out our podcast that comes out on Monday. It's a completely different story for Zweihander. We're about 40 episodes in, so there's plenty of stuff for you to go ahead and listen to, catch up on. It's a longer campaign. This is set in the same kind of world. There's some little references that you might pick up on, but you don't have to have watched this to watch and understand that. And then that's all, right? Any of you all got something to say?
Thanks for coming by.
I think tomorrow is tomorrow Chuck. Is it a Chuck week? I think it's a Blood Marches week. So come back. So come watch us at 8 p.m. Central for about an hour on our Lollygagging channel, and then you can always flip back over to Zweihander RPG an hour later around 9 Central Standard, where Chuck and the Defenders of Cobalt they're gonna continue with episode 2 of their Blood Marches campaign. So he's really fun. All right. So good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Night, everybody.
Bye.